Yes, case number 300 on the calendar on the matter of Clark versus Morgan. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat.
Ms. Clark, it is your claim that the defendant came to your home. She came with other relatives of hers. She damaged your home and assaulted you. And this was all over an incident that involved your husband, who I see is not present today. Ms. Morgan says she was very angry with your husband because he had sexually abused a cousin of hers. And she did, in fact, come to the house, but she neither damaged the house nor did she assault you. How do you know each other?
My husband and her boyfriend are childhood friends.
When did this sexual assault allegedly take place, Miss Morgan?
In July of 2003.
Where did it allegedly take place?
At my house.
And what was Miss Clark's husband doing at your house?
He was originally at the bar with my ex. She came into the bar, took his keys from him because he was there. He called my house, didn't have anywhere to go, so my ex went and picked him up and let him come spend the night at our house because they were fighting.
And how old is this cousin of yours who is
13.
Now, I gather that that case has been resolved. Is that right?
He's in jail for it now.
And he pled guilty to assault.
Sexual assault.
Sexual assault?
Mm-hmm.
How long is your husband incarcerated?
He's incarcerated for another year.
How long has he been incarcerated?
A year.
I don't know how that...
Do you have a different...
Yes.
Go ahead.
He took the plea bargain. They gave him, I forget how many years it was, but he has to stay in jail for 10 years because part of his plea bargain was to waive his right to all appeals and modifications.
And this happened July what?
I believe it was around the 26th.
So on the 26th, you were advised by your 13-year-old cousin that
Yes.
this assault had taken place?
Yes.
Who went over to the plaintiff's house?
Me, my sister, her husband, and my ex.
Why did you go over there?
Because we were mad.
Is that the way you respond?
No, we didn't go over there to do anything to her. In fact, when we arrived to the house, I am the one who knocked on the door, and I asked for her because I felt sorry for her. I really did. I mean, how can you tell somebody your husband just raped my 13-year-old cousin? She came to the door, and he came to the door. When he came to the door, he stepped outside. He was a nervous wreck. He was like this. He knew what we were there for. As soon as he steps outside, my sister's husband went after him. They fought on the sidewalk. She comes outside.
Just a second. That is a mistake. You understand that. That was the wrong thing to happen.
Right, I know that, but
Just
I
a
didn't
second.
do it. I didn't.
Miss
kick the door in.
Morgan, listen to me. What did you go there for?
To confront him for my 13-year-old cousin.
All right, Miss Clark, let me hear you. What happened when she arrived there?
When her and her family members arrived, they were beating down the door. My daughter here and my husband were on their way down the steps to find out what the heck was going on because it was throughout the neighborhood you could hear them screaming obscenities and everything. Just as Brandy went to open the door, it came open. I mean, they just piled in. In the process of Dion being behind Brandy, she got hurt the worst. They were dragging him out of the house and throwing him everywhere, beating and punching him. And when I came out the house, Jennifer came at me with a broken, rusty rake, and she went and shoved it in my stomach, and I fell against steps, and Brandy went after her, and another girl went after her. And
You are amazing.
It was
You are
no way.
amazing.
Miss Morgan, say nothing until it's your turn. Do you understand? Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Go ahead.
We were just outnumbered. We just had to just go in the house. My other daughter called the police because it was horrible. It was like a rumble, tumble, everything. And they were.
You have any photographs of your house?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see them, please. Tell me about your injuries.
Well, I didn't really have too many injuries because I just fell into the steps, but my husband was really beat up.
Well, I'm not here to discuss your husband. And while I absolutely abhor what happened that day, and I'm not talking about the night before, I'm talking about that day and Miss Morgan and her family and friends coming to your house, which I think is wholly inappropriate. Uncross your hands. Your husband's injuries are your husband's injuries. My question to you, Miss Clark, is, it is clear to me that Miss Morgan was not alone. This young lady was with her, according to her, as well as two other men. Why didn't you sue them?
I didn't even know who they were, and that lady right there wasn't present.
You
I
didn't see
wasn't
her?
present?
No, she wasn't present.
Okay.
Step up. You were there?
Yeah.
Good. What's your name?
Sarah Weiser.
When you grow up, your top is going to fit your pants so that it all comes together. When you come to court, we don't do that. You're supposed to come to court looking like you're coming to court. You were there that day? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh, is not an answer.
Yes.
That's better. What did you go there for?
To confront her husband.
Why? That's what the police are for.
Because he raped our 13-year-old cousin.
That's what the police are for.
And we called the police.
Before you went over or after? Oh, it's not an answer.
Same time.
What do you mean the same time? What does that mean, the same time?
We called her mother called the police while we were in pursuit to her house.
What do you do for a living? I'm speaking. What do you do for a living?
Daycare.
You do what?
Daycare.
For children?
Yes. I have 4 children.
How old are you?
28.
28, 4 children. Do your 4 children all have the same father?
No.
How many different fathers do your 4 children have?
2.
Do any of them live with you?
Any of my children's fathers?
Yes.
Yes.
Which ones?
The one that came to her house.
I thought you said he was your ex.
He is my ex, but we still live together.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You had no right to terrorize her, and you had no right to terrorize her daughter.
They were not touched.
I said terrorize, you idiot!
And later today,
the dog was not outside. Immediately I said to my son, we need to go to the dog shelter. A woman walked out and she said, I am so sorry to tell you this, but at the same time that you walked in, we were euthanizing your animal.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ramona Clark says family acquaintance Jennifer Morgan owes for damage to her home and for an assault. Jennifer says Ramona's husband sexually assaulted her 13-year-old cousin.
Let me explain something to you, Miss Morgan. You had absolutely no right, either with or without Miss Bad Midriff over here, to go to her house that day with either alone or with anybody else. You had no right to terrorize her, and you had no right to terrorize her daughter.
They were not touched. They were not touched.
I said terrorize, you idiot!
This originally started as a criminal case. She filed charges against me. The state dropped them.
Let me tell you something, madam. The state where you reside may decide that whatever actions you did that day were motivated by female testosterone that was running in your blood and by the testosterone of the two idiot males that you were with. But in this country, we don't do what you did. Because according to what you told me when you started, this lady came to a bar where her husband was. He was drunk. She took the car keys away so that he wouldn't drive, so that he couldn't hurt himself or hurt somebody else. So she doesn't sound like she is a lunatic. It sounds like she was trying to do the responsible thing. Your ex, genius that he is, said, come and sleep in my house. So he brought him back to the house, and somebody wasn't minding the store at your house. Because if you have a drunk man staying in your house, it seems to me you watch him very, very carefully. You certainly don't respond to that kind of action, the kind of action that he committed, by going to his house and terrorizing his family. Idiot. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,500. That's all. Out!
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It's a shame that the vicious nature of some people can destroy the lives of others.
I hope it gave her a reason to really want to stick by her husband, who's in jail for 10 years.
There was no DNA evidence.
It was 1 in 500 quintillion that it was him.
It's crazy. All kind of stuff going through my head, wondering if the accusations are true.
It was up to us to bust it for what he did, and that's what we did.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter, Allen versus Caldwell. Step forward, please.
Nurse Karen Allen is suing her former pet sitter, 21-year-old ER clerk Tiffany Caldwell, for rent and for the cost of a Welsh Corgi. Karen says while she was away, her dog was euthanized.
Miss Allen, according to your complaint, you hired Miss Caldwell to house and dog sit for you. You were going to be gone for several months, and you had to leave your dog at home. The arrangement was that she would stay in your house for how many months?
It was going to be from March of 2004 until August of 2004.
Unfortunately, when you came home in August, you found that your dog had been euthanized.
Yes, ma'am.
And your house trashed.
Yes, ma'am.
And you want Miss Caldwell to now pay you for rent and for your dog.
Yes,
I don't know how you set a price on that. What kind of dog did you have?
I had an AKC registered Pembroke Welsh Corgi.
How long had you had the dog?
Approximately about 1.5 years.
Boy or a girl?
A male.
Where is your home?
In Knoxville, Tennessee.
And where were you going for 5 months?
I was going to work as a travel nurse in Newark, New Jersey.
Is this your son?
Yes, ma'am.
He was going with you?
No, he stayed with his father during the 5 months.
And where does his father live?
In Morristown, Tennessee, about 40 miles away from Knoxville.
How did you find Miss Caldwell?
A common friend of ours that we both share suggested her, said that she was looking for something, and she worked for the same hospital system I worked at in Knoxville, and it's a very choosy hospital system, so I felt that, you know, they've checked her out, and they've checked me out, so we should probably be a pretty good fit. We met and talked, and she agreed to watch my dog and live in the house while I was gone.
Is that correct so far, Miss Caldwell?
Yes, ma'am.
So she moved into the house?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you check on the house and the defendant during the 5 months that she was there?
Yes, ma'am, I did. I was home 2 or 3 times to take Matthew to hockey events. I would fly in for the weekend, stop by the house, check on the dog. Everything seemed fine. And I would call her frequently. So it was phone tag sometimes, but I would always get a message back, everything was fine. In July, I did call to check on my dog, and she told me that mosquitoes were bad in the area and that he had a few mosquito bites, but he was fine.
You remember that conversation in July?
Actually, it was flies, and she said that it had happened yearly, that his ears would get irritated from where the flies would bother him when he would stay outside.
Why was he staying outside?
The agreement between her and I was, since I worked at the time 10-hour shifts, and she had worked 12 when she lived there, that the dog would, of course, stay outside because couldn't leave him inside that long. And there was a lead that he was attached to. He had a house, he had food, he had water. When I was home, he was in the house with me. When I was at work, he was out in the yard.
When would you leave for work?
It differed. Sometimes I'd work morning shift, sometimes I'd work graveyard shift, evening shift.
You mean when you worked the night shift, you would leave the dog outside all night?
Yeah, that's when he would stay outside nightly.
Was that your agreement with her?
He was not supposed to be outside all night. He was crate trained. He had a nice large roomy crate in the house, and a lot of times, even when I was at work, if I felt the weather was not acceptable and it wouldn't be good for him to be outside, he wouldn't go outside.
Were you sleeping at the house every night?
For the first month or so that I had moved in, I did, and then I got a phone call from Karen telling me that the landlord had told her that he wasn't happy with the fact that someone else was staying there, because I had occasionally had a friend that I worked with stay with me, and he apparently wasn't happy about any of the situation.
Well, he wasn't unhappy with you staying in the house, just with the friend.
Well, the conversation was it was a general, he wasn't happy about any of the situation. He didn't like it. He apparently wasn't happy with Karen being away and somebody else being in the house at all.
Miss Caldwell.
Karen Allen says her former pet sitter, Tiffany Caldwell, owes for trashing her house and causing her Welsh Corgi to be euthanized.
The boy that you had staying at the house, was this your boyfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
I made it very specific that I didn't want any strangers in my house, Your Honor.
Right. Don't give me baloney. Did the landlord complain to you that there was this guy in the house?
Yes, ma'am, he did.
And did you tell her that?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
So you told her not to have the guy in the house?
Correct.
Right. That's different than you not staying in the house. That just says tell your boyfriend not to stay there. There's a difference, Miss Caldwell. So if she told you the boyfriend couldn't stay there, you decided to stay at his place?
Is
not an answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what you did?
Sometimes.
Okay. So when you stayed there sometimes, that means that you went to work. And when you say you went to work, you left the dog outside. And then when you went to your boyfriend's house, where did you leave the dog?
The dog would stay out.
So that the dog would be out sometimes for 24 hours at a time?
Sometimes, yes, ma'am.
That's irresponsible, Miss Caldwell. Very irresponsible. When you make an arrangement with somebody and you find yourself a boyfriend, then you call her up and you say, listen, I can't keep that part of the bargain because I now have a boyfriend, and it's very important that I sleep with him, because if I don't sleep with him, I'll die. So you're going to have to find somebody else to take care of the dog. You don't just disregard your responsibility and allow the dog to stay outside for 24 hours at a time. We understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
You think I'm right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think you did the wrong thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Good, because that's not what your answer says. I read your answer and you said she told me I couldn't stay there. I said, gee, that doesn't make sense. Here's the woman who hires you to stay in her house. Why would she tell you you couldn't stay there? She didn't tell you you couldn't stay there. She said your boyfriend couldn't stay there. When you got home in August, what did you find, Miss Allen?
We arrived home on August the 13th, Matthew and I. We drove into our driveway, and the dog was not outside. It was a very hot day, and so I thought, well, maybe she had placed the dog inside. But somehow I had this sinking feeling that moms have in their stomach. We got into the house, called for the dog. There was no dog. There was a horrible stench in the house where garbage had been piled up, dirty dishes with water that had like 1/4 of an inch of mold on the top layer of the water. Immediately I said to my son Matthew, I said, we need to go to the dog shelter. We got in the car and went to the shelter, which is 1 mile from my home, and walked in and asked if anybody had turned in a Welsh Corgi. A young man had said, we received a Corgi. What kind is it? I told him it was a Pembroke. He asked me if it was tricolored. I told him yes. He says, I think we have your dog. And of course I was ecstatic. We get back into the back. They couldn't find the dog. They asked me to wait in reception. About 10 or 15 minutes later, a woman walked out who was the manager. She was visibly upset, and she said, I am so sorry to tell you this, but at the same time that you walked in, we were euthanizing your animal, we believe. They asked if we wanted to see the body and identify it, and I said yes. I had to know. Matthew preceded me down the hall and went into her office where they had laid the dog. And he started crying, and right away we knew that it was the dog. And my last vision of this animal is him curled up on the floor with his dog.
How did the dog get to the shelter?
I'm not exactly sure. I know on the evening of the 7th, the morning of the 8th, I was working. I got off at around 1:45, 2 a.m. I had went to the house to feed the dog, and of course I was going to stay there that night. And I pulled into the driveway, but the dog didn't run up to the car. So I looked around and couldn't find him.
So you don't know what happened to the dog. The dog got out somehow.
Right.
And what about the mess that was left in the house?
There
was not an answer.
There was dirty dishes in the house.
Why?
I left because I was upset. The dog wasn't there. I couldn't find him. I couldn't get.
You left the dishes earlier. You left the dishes early. You didn't leave the dishes then. You left the mess in the house before. Why?
There's no excuse.
Where are you living now?
I'm living in an apartment.
And how much rent do you pay?
$360 a month.
$360
Yes,
times
ma'am.
5. That's $1,800. You had a bartering agreement with her. Your agreement with her was that in exchange for watching the dog and taking care of the house, you could live in her home rent-free. You didn't live up to your end of the agreement. So you have to pay her rent. Right? Sounds right to me. That's $1,800. Now, you can't put a price on your dog, but there has to be some statement to this young lady that you can't take that kind of responsibility and just cast it out the window because she finds herself a boyfriend. Right? I will put a price on it for the purposes of this litigation. The price that I'm putting on is $2,000. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $3,800. $1,800 for rent and $2,000 because she didn't take care of her responsibility. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out, please. Now, this is case number 284 on the calendar in the matter of Harris versus Showers. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Miss Harris, Miss Showers is your son's fiancé.
Yes.
I assume this is your son.
Yes, it is.
I gather that you and your future daughter-in-law do not get along.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
that's not what this case is about. You claim that your future daughter-in-law had you falsely arrested.
Yes, ma'am.
As a result of which you spent a night in jail. And you want to be compensated for that.
Yes, ma'am.
And the defendant says that you violated a protective order and that you've made her life miserable over the past 6 months, harassed her. She is counterclaiming. I gather that in May of this year, you, according to you, were fed up with the way Miss Showers was treating your son, and you decided to confront her.
Yes, ma'am.
So you went to her place of business.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct? And where did she work?
She works for Martin's grocery store.
How long had she worked there?
I believe she's been there about a year now.
How large is the town where you live?
It's a very small town.
How many grocery stores are there in town?
2.
Which is the bigger one?
Martin's.
And what's the other one?
It's Food Lion.
So you went to her place of business in May, and according to you, you had words with her, and when she was attempting to walk away, you grabbed her by the arm because you weren't finished talking to her.
I didn't grab her, I touched her arm.
As a result of her going into the store in May, you filed a complaint with the police, and they issued a no-contact order. So far correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you went to court on that no-contact order in June.
Yes, ma'am.
June 29th, according to your complaint. And so you had been served with the no-contact order, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you decided on June 29th that you wanted to buy some flowers for a friend. Why? She's sick.
She just had surgery.
And you decided to go to the store where Miss Showers works to get the flowers. And according to your statement, you called first to see if she was there. She wasn't there, so you went there. Rather than going to the Food Lion to get your flowers, you went to her store to get your flowers. And while you were there, she came in.
Yes, ma'am.
Subsequently, she filed a violation of the protective order, or the no contact order, saying you had no right to be in her place of business, causing a scene, calling her a name, doing whatever. You had no right to even be there. Based upon that violation of going to her store, you were arrested.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what you're complaining about, because you say that subsequently you pled guilty to an assault that happened in May, and she was given a permanent no-contact order?
12 months.
12 months. That you agree that she was entitled to, and you agreed to stay away from her and behave yourself for 12 months, and if after that 12-month period there is no contact, the case will be dismissed against you.
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
And what you're complaining about is that you say she should not have had you arrested for going into the store after court on June 29th, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You have 1 minute to explain to me why it was necessary, right after you went to court on a charge of assault, which you subsequently pled guilty to, that you found it necessary to go to her place of business, a place of business where she was employed for a year. Explain it to me, Ms. Harris.
When the warrant was issued, I was never
Don't tell me warrant.
Okay.
Just tell me why the day that you went to court on a charge of assault, an assault that you pled guilty to, you found it necessary to go to the store where she worked for anything.
Well, Your Honor, I have here where I had been in that store several times previous, and there was no problems.
I'm not talking about previous. I'm talking about the day you went to court for assaulting her. I mean, you weren't going there to get penicillin. You explained to me why you found it imperative to go to that store on that day.
Because, Your Honor, we live in a small town. The store where Stacy works is the only store that is open that time of morning. I called, as I did on these other occasions.
Just a second. Let me stop you right there. What time in the morning did you go over?
It was about 10 o'clock, 10:15.
Really? What time had you gone to court that day?
It was 10.
So you're telling me 15 minutes after you left court, you went to the store?
I went directly after.
Immediately after?
Yes, ma'am.
You left court?
Yes, ma'am.
You decided to go to the store where she works?
No, actually, I had...
That's what you just told me. You told me you went to court at 10, and at that time in the morning...
Yes, ma'am.
At that time in the morning, there's no other store open, and you needed flowers, so immediately from the courthouse, you went to the store where she worked?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
You got a problem, Miss Harris. You got a problem with me. There are other places you could have gone to get something for your sick friend. And if you couldn't get flowers anywhere else, and if you didn't want to go pick them yourself, buy her a box of candy. But you don't go to the same venue where you had previously assaulted the defendant, because you pled guilty to that assault, to buy your sick friend flowers. That's outrageous. And then suing her for having you falsely arrested. She had every right to have you arrested. And she didn't even have you arrested on that day. She waited, but evidently other things happened between that date in June and the date she ultimately complained about the conduct, because you clearly are not satisfied and not happy with your son's choice of mates. And finally she said, I've had enough. I'm going to complain about it. You have no case, and I suggest you start behaving yourself. Now, let me get to your counterclaim. Let me hear it.
Mrs. Harris over here, she's ever since the incident in May, she has done nothing but try to torment me, try to get us kicked out.
Get the specifics.
Okay, I have here where she sent Mr. Jeffries here at voicemail saying that if I came to my apartment, that she would make our life hell, and Steve can verify.
Was it your voicemail?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
Step up. What did your mother say on the voicemail?
Basically, if she came back to the apartment where she was staying.
She was staying with you?
Yes, she was at the time of the incident.
No, she was not.
Shh.
That she would, quote, stomp her and watch my mom go to jail.
Well, whose apartment was it?
It's my apartment. She lives upstairs.
Okay, and you don't live together now?
Not now, no.
Did you then?
Yes, we did.
How come you don't anymore?
Excuse me?
How come you don't anymore?
Because she called the landlord and explained everything that was going on. The landlord told me if Miss Showers didn't drop the warrant, that we both had to leave.
Didn't drop what warrant? The no contact
Well, yes,
warrant
I'm
on
sorry,
your mother?
no contact, yes.
How long has it been since you haven't gotten along with your mother?
Probably May.
What happened in May?
I backed into Miss Showers' car. She took my truck to work.
Yes.
And that started the May incident of her coming into her place of work.
Why? What is your mother's business that she took your truck?
It's not, Your Honor.
Is that what happened?
Well, Your Honor, there's been a history of 2 years of problems between Stacy and my son, where Stephen has come and talked to me about Stacy running around on him, leaving the apartment for 2 days and disappearing. I was brought into their business.
By your son? No, your son was
by my
confiding.
son. Yes.
Your son was confiding in you.
Right. Yes.
That he was troubled.
Yes. Yes.
And?
Stephen at one point expressed to me that they were in an apartment together. He was wanting to put Stacy out, but couldn't afford the apartment on his own. I live in a very inexpensive place to live. Asked me to try to get him a place in my building. Apartment came available. I went to Stephen and asked if he wanted that apartment because he knew the relationship was shaky.
Fine. You asked him if he wanted the apartment. And he was living with her at the time.
Right.
Go ahead.
After they moved in, that
so
was...
the two of them moved... Just a second.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
the two of them moved in together.
Yes, ma'am. In October, where it brought to where I was seeing with my own 2 eyes of Stacy's actions. The truck incident was basically the icing on the cake. Stephen did put Stacy out right after Christmas of last year.
Talk to me about the truck incident. He says that she had permission to take his truck. He didn't care that she took the truck.
That is correct.
So what was it your business?
Well, because Stephen was having to take off time from work for her to go, and Stephen had owed me money. She works a mile from where they were staying. My viewpoint was, you can't afford to be taking off time from work. You owe me this money.
So why didn't you have a discussion with him instead of her?
I did.
And you got no satisfaction?
He said that he was going to take care of it. Stephen has a habit.
So then what prompted you to go to her place of business?
To basically let her know that she might be fooling him, but she wasn't fooling me.
Miss Harris, you better get your priorities in order, and you better get your position and your son's life straight. What he does with his fiancée is none of your business. And if he chooses to confide in you as a parent, he's not asking you to do anything. He's just asking you to be a sounding board and to give him advice. He's not asking you to be a mediator. He's not asking you to get in between he and his fiancée. It's a very bad place to be, Miss Harris. Listen, she's bothering you. She's annoying you. That's not something that you come to court and you're compensated for. Do you understand?
Right.
But you have absolutely no case against her. None. Your case is dismissed.
Why does that excuse you may step out?
She has a very bad reputation in town.
She's just so hateful. She'll say anything.
I've seen her with other men. She's had men down in my son's apartment.
I mean, as far as being with anybody, I can count the people I've been with on one hand more than probably, you know, I could say for her.
I guess nobody's ever going to be good enough.
Not to be blunt, but everybody in town has had her, so no, I don't think she is.
Actually, she's told Steve that if we ever got married, she wouldn't be there, and then if we ever had kids, she wouldn't have nothing to do with them.
His relationship with her will be his. If he wants a relationship with me, then we'll have to have a separate relationship.
I guess she's upset that she lost her case. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's anger talking. I'm not sure.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Raley versus Pontice. Step forward, please.
Railroad conductor Joseph Raley is suing his niece, 19-year-old student Katie Pontius, for loans to pay credit card bills and for the cost of bus tickets. Joseph says Katie is headed down the wrong path.
Mrs. Raley, I'd like you to stand up with your husband. Okay. This is your niece. Is this your sister's child or your brother's child?
My sister's child.
And according to what I read, you were very fond of her, probably still are, and you claim that you made a series of loans to her, one to take a bus trip, a vacation, and then after the trip she came back to live with you and you gave her a credit card to use, and you claim with the understanding that she would make the payments on the credit card, somehow pay you back for both the trip and the credit cards. Things didn't work out in your home with her. She didn't obey the rules. You told her to leave, and you want your money.
Yes, ma'am.
And your niece says that you were a wonderful aunt and uncle to her. You were almost like parents, and you did give her money for this bus trip, and you did give her a credit card, and she used them, but there was never any understanding that she would have to pay you back. Right?
Yes.
Do you have children?
No, ma'am.
So tell me about the first loan that you claim you made to her.
Well, my niece Katie, she had a troubled childhood, and when she turned 18, she wanted to leave home. She asked for my help, and I'd end up financing 6 bus trips for her.
Was your sister, her mother, in agreement that she leave home?
She was supportive.
Are there other children in the home?
She has 2 sisters.
Younger or older?
Both younger.
What about your younger siblings? Are they still home?
My sister Roxanne, she's there. My son Matthew, who's 5 months old, and my sister Amber, who's 18.
Where did you get a 5-month-old son, Katie?
Got pregnant when I went to Utah.
That wasn't so smart.
Wasn't planned. It happened.
Got to be more careful.
Yeah, I have one on the way.
That's not being too smart.
I know.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She has a child that she cannot care for. She's going to have another one with yet another father. She doesn't have enough money to keep herself or her child in diapers or birth control.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Joseph Raley says his niece, Katie Pontius, owes almost $5,000 in loans. Joseph says Katie is a 19-year-old single mother with another child on the way.
You ever hear of birth control?
Yeah, I'm on it. I was on it. My doctor thinks I'm just immune to it or something.
Then maybe you'll be one of those unfortunate people who just have to try abstinence. If that's the case. I'd never heard of somebody who was just immune to the ingredients in birth control, but you have to take them orally in your mouth.
I do.
Doesn't work anyplace else. Who's taking care of your 5-month-old baby?
I normally do.
Are you living back at home?
No, I've moved out. I'm living with my boyfriend right now.
And you and your boyfriend take care of the 5-month-old baby?
He is going to be coming to live with me.
So right now he's with your mother?
Yes, and my 2 sisters. She's trying to take custody of my son because I'm a college student and she thinks I can't financially support him. And so she's threatening to take him away. So I'm letting him stay with her right now at this point in time. I'm not signing over any rights. She thinks I am. But I'm getting my own place really soon here, and then I'm going to take him back.
But in the meantime, you're going to have another blessed event.
Yes.
What do you want from her?
Outside of this financial settlement, I want her to pay this bill.
From what?
From what?
From
well,
what?
when it started out,
she can't get herself arrested. She can only get herself pregnant.
She's got that part down.
She's got that part down pat. You're absolutely right. So you want her to pay for the bus trips that you financed?
Yes.
And after you financed the bus trips, when did she come to live with you?
She moved in with us October 7th, 2003.
And when did she leave?
She left approximately November 14, 5 weeks. She was with us for 5 weeks, went through 5 jobs.
And now we're a year and some months later. So what brings you to court now?
Well, there was a current event in August of 2004. She's going to school. She needed clothing. Most of it's clothing. Her mother said she'd back her up. When she got her Pell Grant, October 1st, 2004, she was supposed to have paid for that portion of the bill. The Pell Grant came and went, and I never got paid, so that was it.
So her mother guaranteed payment.
She said she'd back it up, and...
Her mother, is
yes.
what you're telling you, her mother guaranteed payment.
Yes.
I received my financial aid in October, but I didn't receive all of it. I'm waiting to receive the other portion of it. I had to buy my son diapers and food, and I had some bills to pay to my parents, because my parents need the money more than my Uncle Joe does. They are well set on money.
That's not your business. How well healed they are has nothing to do with you. They are not responsible for you. They are not responsible for your mistakes. They are not responsible for your clothes. The fact that they choose to keep advancing money to you is their error. But you can't make a judgment. Who are you to say that they have enough money, I don't have to pay them back? That if you want to pursue the matter of a loan, you pursue it with your sister. I don't think that you continue to give this young lady money up until a couple of months ago, understanding the circumstances of her life. That is, she has a child. She has a child that she cannot care for, who's being cared for by your sister. She's going to have another one with yet another father. She's all over the place, and yet you continue to advance her money. And it is my belief that you advanced her money not with the expectation that she was going to pay you back, but with the expectation that if you were going to see any of this money, it was going to come from your sister, not from her. She doesn't have enough money to keep herself or her child in diapers or birth control. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She has either been unable or unwilling.
Order. All rise. This is case number 340 on the calendar, the matter of Johnson versus Cummings. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, folks.
Mr. Johnson, you were an uninvited guest at the defendant's birthday party. Is that right?
Not entirely, Your Honor.
Who invited you to his birthday party?
There was a group of friends that were meeting up there that night, approximately 5, including one of my witnesses, Eric Sullivan.
Who invited you?
I was
told...
told...
it's not an answer, sir. Let me refresh your recollection as to what you said in your complaint. On August 27th, 2004, my friends and I heard about a party. So my question to you is, who invited you?
Like I said, there was a group of friends that were meeting up there that night. I was told to come by.
So the answer is nobody invited you?
Correct.
Good. And it is your claim that when you got there, you'll tell me what happened, but that the defendant, whose birthday was being celebrated that evening at his home, right?
Correct.
Hit you, and you were injured. Mr. Cummings says you were in fact an uninvited guest at his party. He told you to leave. You hit him first, and he hit you back, right?
Correct.
How old were you?
20 years old, ma'am, on that day.
And who do you live with?
My parents.
You live in a house?
Yes, ma'am.
How big a house?
4-bedroom.
Where were your parents?
My parents were vacationing.
Got it? Had you discussed having a party at the house before they went on vacation?
Yes, ma'am.
And how many people did they say that you should have at your party?
They said 20 people was fine.
How many people showed up at your party?
20 to 25 people.
So you were 5 over quota?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Johnson, tell me what time you got to the party.
It's approximately 11:30.
Where had you been before?
My house.
With whom?
I was a designated driver for my friend Erica and Renee. She came by my house, picked me up, then we picked up Erica and went up to Nashua.
What happened when you got there?
We got there, we ran into a few of our friends. There was approximately 5 out of 30 to 40 some odd people that were actually there. I had asked my friend Corey if he knew who lived there. He didn't know. On my way up from the basement where I thought I heard some people that I knew. I did not. Came upstairs. Someone had approached me, said, "Do you know, is Cummings down there?" And I said, "Sorry, I don't know who Cummings is." He laughed and walked away. Now, next thing I knew, I was surrounded by approximately 5 people, 5, 6 people. One of them had said, "Do you know who Cummings is?" I said, "No, I don't." And then he said, "Why don't you try and guess?" So, not knowing who he was, I said, "I don't know, you?" And they all started laughing. Now, the only one who wasn't laughing was the defendant, and he came up to me.
Because his name is?
Jim Cummings. He then approached me, gave me an open-handed slap in the face, and said, "You and your friends get the F out of my house." I then turned to my friend Erica. I said, "Well, seeing as how I was just slapped, I think it's time to leave." A couple people had stopped me, asked me what happened. I said, "I just got slapped in the face by the person who lives here, and I'm leaving." And then the defendant came back out and said, "All right, it's getting too loud. Everybody needs to get back inside the house." And he was looking at me when he said this. I said, "Well, I think I'm going to leave anyway."
Good idea.
I thought so. So I was walking to the car. It was parked inside of a cul-de-sac. We were walking to the car, and there was a girl there crying. She's like, "Oh, this is garbage. I'm so sick of this. I want to get out of here." And I said, "Hey, somebody else who hates this party."
Is that this young lady here?
Yes, it is.
What were you crying about?
That there were so many people there and it was getting outrageous.
Because why?
Because everybody was a little intoxicated. There really wasn't that many people there. It was like...
I asked you a question. I didn't ask you for a whole tale. I said, why were you crying?
Because there were too many people there and it was getting outrageous and the neighbors were coming over complaining. And
good. Now you can sit down. Okay, so...
So as I was walking to the car and I said that to her, next thing I know, out of right field, he comes up running from behind me. That's my effing girlfriend. He swings me around and punches me in the face at the same time.
Mr. Cummings, is that what happened, sir?
No, ma'am.
Why don't you tell me your version of what happened, Mr. Cummings? Were you drunk that evening?
I was slightly intoxicated as well as everybody else that was at the party, including him.
Well, I don't know. Just a second. I don't know whether he was intoxicated at all, sir. But I do know that if you were celebrating your 20th birthday, you were intoxicated.
Yes, ma'am.
And is this your girlfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Cummings, I want you to understand something. The reason your girlfriend was crying wasn't because there were too many people at the party. That's a fib, she just told me. I believe she was crying. But she was crying because something happened there at the party, because she's not so responsible that she's out there crying because there are too many people and the neighbors are coming over. Somebody told you to be quiet. That's not why she's crying. Either you said something to her or something happened there that upset her. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good. How old are you?
17.
17, because I know 17-year-olds. They don't get upset because there are too many people at a party. They get upset because maybe their boyfriend says something that they don't like. Maybe you were flirting with somebody else. Maybe you said something that wasn't nice to her. All of those things are possibilities, not because the party was too loud. That wouldn't cause her to cry. So now let's get back to, you tell me your version of what happened to Mr. Johnson.
He was being loud and obnoxious all night, and the neighbor from next door, she has small children, and I respect that, and she came over and asked me to quiet the party down, which I then asked a couple of my friends to go around and say, hey, calm down, and I did too. And I asked the defendant to calm down and his friends.
Where was he when you asked him to calm down?
He was inside the dining room drinking Bacardi-O. He came to my house with a half a bottle of Bacardi-O, which I assume the other half was consumed when he was at his house.
Go ahead.
I asked him then to leave. He got up, and then we were walking outside. Words were exchanged. He was swearing at me, saying, F you, why am I leaving this party? He was very upset because he had to leave and other people weren't leaving. I told him because my neighbor, asked me to calm down, and he was the only one that seemed to not calm down, was him.
So you're telling me, sir, that the story that Mr. Johnson just told me about going outside and seeing your girlfriend crying, that wasn't true. Is that what you're telling me?
No, he may have went outside.
Go ahead.
He may have went outside and seen my girlfriend crying, but that's not true, no.
Mr. Cummings, is what you're telling me that Mr. Johnson was not telling me the truth when he said he was outside of your home already before you hit him, and that's when he saw your girlfriend crying?
I don't know if it was at that same time, Your Honor. She was crying all night.
Michael Johnson claims he was punched in the face by Jim Cummings. Jim says Michael crashed his birthday party.
Why was she crying all night, Mr. Cummings?
Because she was upset with me.
Why?
Because we had broke up during the night. It's alcohol and booze and drama. That's what it is. It's a teenage party, It's a teenage party. That's how it is.
Listen to me, Mr. Cummings. I'm aware of that, sir.
Okay.
That's why I said she wasn't telling me the truth when she gave me the reason that she was crying. Right?
Correct.
Right. And that's why you're not telling me the truth, sir, about when this altercation took place with Mr. Johnson, because it took place outside.
Correct.
Not inside.
I was not done my story, Your Honor.
Then get to it, Mr. Cummings.
At that point, I asked him to leave. We went outside. He was exchanging words with me and swearing at me, and
Just
he
a
went
second.
outside.
If you asked him to leave,
okay,
and he went outside, why were you going outside?
because I was making sure that he was leaving because he seemed to be the most obnoxious person there, Your Honor.
Not quite.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Keep going.
We went outside, and at that point, he then pushed me, and I pushed him back. And then he swung at me and hit me, and I counterpunched him in the face, and then he was gone, and that was it, and I didn't hear anything until this.
Who else was outside with you, Mr. Johnson?
I was, Your Honor.
Step up. Name?
Erica Galvin.
What happened outside, Miss Galvin?
Outside, we were going to leave, and everybody kept on stopping to ask us what happened. So it was kind of a delayed departure, but we did end up making it halfway to the car when Michael saw, apparently, his girlfriend and said, hey, somebody else who doesn't like this party. And that's when he came from behind him, grabbed him on the shoulder, and then punched him in the face as he was turning him around.
Sounds right.
And then that's when me, Eric, and a few other people tried to break it up, and 6 of his friends came flocking over and said, stay out of this is not your fight. And we just kept on saying, we just want to leave. And I'd like to include that there was about 40 people there, and most of them were outside. And it was a kegger, so people were paying to get in. That doesn't necessarily mean that there has to be a definite invitation.
There has to be a definite invitation if you don't want trouble, right?
If you don't want trouble.
If you don't want trouble. And when you have a kegger, you don't have 17-year-olds at the party, because if you have 17-year-olds at the party and serving alcohol, you're breaking the law. You're aware of that, Mr. Cummings, aren't you?
Yes.
Perfect. Can I see your medical bill, please?
Yes, there are a few of them here.
Anything else you want to say to me?
I was not drinking at the party. I had not drank.
Is what you stand up?
Yes, I was
stand
not
up. I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question.
Okay. Sorry, Your Honor. I was not drinking.
I didn't ask you whether you were drinking or not. I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Is your statement that you weren't drinking as truthful as your statement moments ago that the reason you were crying is that there were too many people at the party?
Well,
I want you to think about my question. You have to process my question.
I was not drinking. My parents, we live in the same neighborhood, me and Jim.
So just answer my question. So were you lying to me before when you said to me that the reason you were crying is because there were too many people? No. He says that the reason you were crying is because he had broken up with you.
I was upset that we broke up, but I live up the street, so if there was a loud party, my parents would come down and see me there, and I would not...
Sit down. Sit down.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today...
I mean, like I said...
I don't know, because you're not saying anything. You're just comforting.
I don't know. I understand how she justifies that she's asked for the entertainment center when the only thing she's ever wanted was the bed.
Women change their mind.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michael Johnson claims he was punched in the face by Jim Cummings. Jim says Michael crashed his birthday party.
Go ahead.
After approximately 5 days of not being able to chew solid foods, I was on the slim fast and pudding diet. That is accurate.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, I have a friend a foot taller than him that wouldn't take him.
He's a big guy and he was drunk. That's why he was so nasty to his girlfriend. She forgave him. You forgave him, right? Huh?
Yes.
Stupid! Listen, Mr. Cummings, I don't believe you, sir. I believe that this young man came to your house. He was not invited to your birthday party by you.
I apologize, Your Honor. I just wanted to...
Perfect!
I just wanted...
Perfect! Apology is accepted.
Thank you.
This young man came to your house. He was uninvited by you. But it was a party, and that's what happens when teenagers and young people hear about a party around. You know, they hear the words, party, parents gone, on vacation, let's go have a good time. Came to your house, and there was absolutely no reason for you to hit him, except that you'd had a little too much to drink, and you have to pay for that. He's suing you for his medical bills, and not much for pain and suffering, almost $1,800.
Only $500 just for the pain and suffering.
I would have sued him for a lot more. He's got to be taught a lesson. Can't put your hands on somebody. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount requested, $1,779. That's all. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He was just wasted, just yelling and being obnoxious, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we were there for all of about 10 minutes. You know, I was driving my friend's car. I wasn't drinking a thing.
He just put his hands up at my girl, and I just punched him in the face.
I can't even understand why you get so mad about it. I said, hey, somebody else who hates this party, rock on.
Moral of the story is, don't mess with the wrong people.
Gotta get a tooth yanked. Looking forward to some more pain.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Donahue versus Heinig. Step forward, please.
21-year-old fitness consultant Megan Donahue is suing her ex-boyfriend, 24-year-old construction worker Brian Heinig, and his mother, Ann, for the return of a bedroom set and entertainment system.
Miss Donahue, this used to be your boyfriend, is that right?
Yes.
You have a child with him?
Yes, I do.
How old is that child?
9 months.
Boy or girl?
Boy.
And for a period of time, you lived in Mr. Heinig's home with his mother.
Yes.
And it is your claim that there was some sort of an altercation. You left, and Mr. Heinig refuses to give you back 2 items of furniture that you purchased that belonged to you. Mr. Heinig says that the bed he paid for and that the home theater was given to him. He doesn't say by whom. When did you move out?
April 9th.
And you moved out with your son?
Yes, I did.
Where did you move to?
My house, my parents' house.
When did you go back for your furniture?
April 9th is the last time I've ever been at their house.
When did you tell them you wanted the bed and the home entertainment center?
April 9th.
Okay. Now, what?
Well, I was there. My son was not there when she came back with her sister, and she did want the bed. She made no mention of an entertainment center. She was very emphatic about the bed.
How old is your son?
My son?
I'm 24, ma'am.
He's 24. Is he your youngest?
No.
Let him talk for himself. Let's deal with the entertainment center first, Mr. Heinig. Who bought it?
We had both bought it.
Who paid for it?
We had both paid for it.
How much did you pay for it?
I'd say $180 at least.
Yeah, I have receipts for everything I paid for and an itemized list of everything that I wanted back. And he did pay, when I was on maternity leave, he did pay part of the bed.
Okay.
And I did pay him back, and there's a council check in here approving that.
May I see that,
I paid him back. Yeah, that's all for the bed and everything.
Why did she give you a check in March of 2004 for $600?
I never received a check for $600 in March. We weren't even talking together in March.
Yes, we were. I didn't move out till April 9th.
I never received a check
Would
for
you show him this, please?
$600. Oh, this is for the side work I was doing for her dad at the gym when I was rebuilding the gym.
Okay, so that's for work that you did for her father.
Yeah, when they own a gym. And there should be another check somewhere for $350 that they had also paid me.
No.
Okay. Now, you say you paid her about $180, sir?
Well, that was for the TV.
How much was the television?
Maybe $240, I don't know, something around there. It was like a 27-inch TV.
Okay.
It wasn't bad.
And how much did you pay her towards the bed, which was...
I got $650 towards the bed.
Let us say that everything that you say is true, Mr. Heinig, that you did pay for some part of both the entertainment center as well as the bed. That doesn't mean that you get to keep both.
Understandable.
So how do you want to deal with it?
You know, I don't feel that, you know, I mean, like I said...
No, I don't know because you're not saying anything. You're just comforting.
I don't know, I understand how she justifies that she asked for the entertainment center when the only thing she's ever wanted was the bed.
She's just... Women change their mind.
I'll give her the money for the bed, you know, but I mean, I think that that's the only thing I should give her the money for.
And the television, the entertainment
I'll give her
center?
I'll give her the television. She could have it.
Oh, great. So the entertainment center is to be returned to her within 5 days from today's date. You keep the bed, sir. You're going to pay her $750 for the bed. That's all. Judgment for the plaintiff, $750, and the entertainment center within 5.
113 on the calendar in the matter of Dana versus Frowner. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat, please.
Ms. Dana, the defendant is the father of your boyfriend or ex-boyfriend. Is it ex?
Correct, ex-boyfriend.
Ex-boyfriend, who is currently in jail.
Correct.
You claim that you had a contract with the defendant, and it was a verbal contract.
Correct.
That you and the soon-to-be ex-boyfriend had a car. The car was in Mr. Fowler's name, but you were making payments on it.
Yes.
And you say that Mr. Fowler told you that if you continued to make payments faithfully on the car, as soon as the car was paid off, he would turn over the title to you.
Correct.
So you and the boyfriend drove the car till the boyfriend was arrested. You continued to make payments on the car, but then you no longer became a couple, and according to you, you believe that the boyfriend told his father you'd take back the car from her.
Correct.
Well, then you got pulled over for something. Didn't have insurance, or the tags had expired on the car, and the car went into impound.
Correct.
See how easy I'm making this? But I'm going to ask you questions soon.
Okay.
I just have to start the story from beginning to end, because otherwise Byrd would lose interest.
Okay.
So the car went into impound, and you wanted to get the car out of impound.
Yes.
But you couldn't get it out of impound because the title to the car is in Mr. Fowler's name.
Correct.
He wouldn't let you get the car out.
That's right.
And then he took the car back. And you want all the money that you put into this car.
Well, a portion, because I put over $5,000 into the car.
Mr. Fowler says, well, while you did have some sort of an agreement, the agreement was that he would let you drive the car as long as you paid for it, and that you did drive the car.
Yes.
But you were late on the payments. And he found out you were late on the payments when he went to try to get a loan out or something, and you were destroying his credit. His son might have told you not to get the car back, too. Is that right?
Yeah, he insinuated that.
What?
He said that in a way, yes.
Listen,
that,
let's not play with each other, sir. He didn't say that in a way. He said, get the car back from her.
Yes.
Shh. Okay. So because you were late in your payments, and because his son told him to get the car back from you, he did, and he's counterclaiming because he says he was forced to pay impound fees because you didn't have tags on the car, and a parking ticket that you got. So that's what this case is about. Were you ever late on any payments?
Yes, I was late on payments.
How many?
I was late on a few payments. However, he never said not one time, if you're late on payments, that I'm going to take this car from you.
Well, what did you think he was going to do? Throw you a testimonial dinner?
No, but...
He was going to get you cake?
No.
Send you a bottle of champagne?
But he never said that he was going to take the vehicle from me. I understand that I was late on payments.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
Did you ever own property before that you financed?
Yes, I had a vehicle at the time I took over the car. When I took over his car, no.
Did you finance it through a bank?
Yes, I did.
Do you still have the car?
No, I sold the car after I took over the car with Mr. Frowner.
When you had your vehicle and it was financed through a finance company, what did you think would happen if you were perpetually late in making the payments?
They would then repossess the car.
Right! So you thought that it was okay to be late in your payments with Mr. Frowner?
No, I didn't think it was okay, but I was going through little problems at the same time. I was also helping his son out that was in jail.
That has nothing to do with the car.
Yeah, that's true. However, that was deceit from his son as well as him from the time that I met his son. He was a bank robber. I never even knew that. That's how I came in contact with even taking over the car note.
Shouldn't have done it.
I felt like I was doing them a favor. I had the car for 2 years, and at the time that he took the car, the payments were on time. He took the car out of my possession without even saying anything.
He didn't take the car out of your possession, Miss Dana. He took the car out of the pound because you were irresponsible in not having the car registered.
Ma'am, the registration was only not even 30 days late. The registration was due in February. I got the registration in March. And Mr. Frowner, the car was getting impounded, I called Mr. Frowner as the car was getting impounded.
Why did they take the car to impound?
Because the police officers were being jerks. They didn't have to impound that car.
Because there was no registration on the car that was current, is that right?
Yes, but it wasn't. They give you a 30-day grace period.
Evidently not, Miss Dana.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He didn't
When
even
did
have
you...
a job.
Shh. What is he in jail for?
He's in jail for robbing banks, Your Honor.
Well, then he had a job.
Can you believe that?
Robbing banks gives you money.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sherry Dana claims her ex-boyfriend's father, John Frowner, took back a car she was paying for. John says not only was she late with payments, but the car was impounded.
Seems like the world is against you. You're late in your payments on his credit. You weren't doing it on time because you had all kinds of other troubles. You were doing him a favor in taking over the payments on the car, according to you. You weren't doing him any big favor. The car gets repossessed. He's finished.
If I wouldn't have took over the payments, the car would have been repossessed.
Perfect. Then he would have been in no worse position than he is now.
But the car notes weren't late consistently for the 2 years that I had the vehicle.
Doesn't make any difference, madam. That affects his credit.
Yes, it affects his credit, but at the same time...
So you have no sympathy for me. You didn't do the right thing. You didn't make your payments on time. You didn't have the car registered.
I had the car registered before, prior to.
So?
It was just a few days behind.
Miss Dana, you're 31 years old. You have to grow up. You have a responsibility to pay a car note the first of the month. You pay a car note the first of the month. You have a responsibility to register the car by the 30th day of a particular month. You don't wait for what you perceive to be an automatic grace period of 30 days. You're not a baby. You're 31 years old. Okay. Stop blaming other people.
Okay.
How much did you pay every month for the car?
I paid $389 a month.
What kind of car was it?
It was a 2000 Monte Carlo. SS edition. And even before then, he should have said that before. He should have taken the car away from me in the beginning when the payments were first delayed. Why wait 2 years to let me practically pay off a car and then take the car from me? That's not fair.
Well, maybe we're going to find out. Mr. Frowner, how did you find out that the car payments were late?
From the finance company.
How did that come about?
Because they threatened to repossess the car.
Did they write you any letter?
Yes, they wrote letters.
Do you have those letters with you?
No, I don't have those letters. I have a history, a detailed history of the payments.
Let me see. What did you do with the car, sir?
I still have the car in my possession.
You still have the car in your possession. Are you making payments on the car?
Yes.
Okay. And in what year did Miss Dana start making payments on the car? When it was new in 2000?
No.
When?
July of 2001.
Was your son driving the car before that?
Yes, that's right.
And they were together?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So you don't know who was making the payments, she or your son?
No, he was making the payments.
Okay.
He didn't
When
even
did
have a job.
What is he in jail for?
He's in jail for robbing banks, Your Honor.
Well, then he had a job.
Can you believe that? Just like I said,
quiet! Robbing banks gives you money. I'm not approving of it, but he had a car. The loan was being paid off because he was robbing banks. He was out there and he was employed. The fact that the government doesn't approve of his vocation doesn't mean that he didn't have money to pay off the car loan. Now, when did he go into prison?
March of 2000.
No.
When did he go into prison?
May of 2001.
501. Believe me, his father knows when he went into jail. And was it starting in May of 2001 that she started to make the payments, Mr. Frowner?
No, Your Honor, we put the car up for sale.
In what year?
In May of 2001, after he was incarcerated. He was supposed to get the money to obtain an attorney.
And what happened then, sir?
The car was on the lot to be sold, and someone broke into the car. He had a lot of equipment on there. Miss Dana, we got together and we went and got the car. Ever since then, Miss Dana had the car.
So she's been paying on the car for about a year.
Yeah, which I made some payments myself.
Show me. That's a lie. That's it. That's a lie.
Do you have any proof, Mr. Frowner?
No. That's a lie.
Do you have any proof, Mr. Frowner, that you've been making payments on the car?
I wasn't making those many, but I did make some.
You have any proof?
No.
Then I find that you didn't make any.
Okay.
When was it impounded?
The car was impounded March the 14th.
March of 03.
Correct.
So she's been making payments about 22 months. Times 385? 380?
378.
I have a.
Let me see.
378.
And on this page, and even on that form right there, where I sent my payments through MoneyGram, it would even show where if I was late on the payments, I made up for the late fees and everything.
That doesn't mean his credit wasn't affected.
But
do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I sure do.
Good. So if you think you're going to get all your money back, you're wrong. But Mr. Frowner can't take advantage of the entire situation. Do you understand that, Mr. Frowner?
Yes.
Yes,
Your Honor.
What kind of card had you traded in?
Well, I sold my 1997 Nissan Sentra to a coworker.
And what were your payments on that car?
$320.
And you plan on keeping this car, isn't that right, Mr. Frowner?
Yes, ma'am. I'm in the process.
$8,316 is what she paid so far. What interest was your loan?
15%. I have a copy of the contract here.
Can I see it, please? You put down $9,000?
Yeah.
Remember what his son was doing. Taxpayer.
You didn't?
No.
Okay. I've deducted the interest. Got about $58.82 if you take away the interest for 2 years. Now, how much do you think minimally you'd have to pay to drive around a car a month?
If I leased a car for 1 month, about $300.
Right. Well, I'm going to give you credit for $200. So it would have cost you about $4,400 or $200 a month to drive around in a new car. That's a lot less than you were paying on your old car, a lot less than you were paying on this car, because there's wear and tear and depreciation, and I'm not getting into that, but it seems to me you should get something. You should get something for the money that you put into the car, not $5,000.
But he agreed. I even have a witness here that stated that that I can have the car. So here's my witness.
You can't have the car if you were late. You were late in the payments. That was your agreement. You make the payments. You didn't make them on time. It's not your car. You didn't put down the $9,000 deposit. You're not going to pay off the rest of the loan. You drove around unregistered. You caused his credit to go down the toilet. You are not entitled to the car, madam. And if you don't understand it, I can't explain it to you any better. You got to do the right and responsible thing. He can't totally benefit from the fact that you made payments on this car for 2 years. You understand that, sir?
Yes.
You have to give her something, because she did, in fact, make payments, even though she was late. And I'm not going to let there be a windfall for you or for your son who is incarcerated. So
and
you're
that's
going to
the
give...
only reason why he's taking the car away from me is because of his son. Before
that
he
may
had
be
no problem.
Miss Dana,
even with the car being
Miss
late.
Dana, if you had done everything right and you had made the payments on time and you had gotten the car registered and he came to your house and for no reason whatsoever took the car away from you, you would have gotten your $5,000. You didn't do everything right. You ruined his credit by making late payments. You didn't register the car punctually so that the car was impounded. Do you understand?
Yes.
So you didn't do everything right. Therefore, you don't come out a winner. You, however, sir, are suing her for the impound fees because you say at the time the car was impounded, you didn't have the money to get the car out on that day. Now, on that day, she wanted you to get the car out. So you're not getting your impound fees. You got a nice car and somebody else was paying the note on it. So don't cry to me. I'm not interested. And you're going to give her $1,472. That's all. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, she breached the whole contract.
He never stipulated if the payments weren't on time that I would take the car away from you.
Well, she's trying to get her money.
His son was upset because I'm now no longer writing him or going to visit him out of state where I was spending thousands of dollars to do that.
I'm not being led by my son.
All this time, I'm thinking he's in the music industry and he's out robbing banks.
And now the next case.
All parties on Jameson versus Rogers. Step forward, please.
Taxi dispatcher Christine Jameson is suing her sister, bookkeeper Lisa Rogers, and Lisa's husband, Kent, for the return of belongings that she had stored. Lisa says Christine is a drug addict.
Miss Jameson, the defendant, Miss Rogers, is your sister, and this is your husband?
Yes.
This is not a very difficult case. Let me just get to it. Miss Jameson, it is your claim that your sister has your stuff. She took your stuff when you went to jail for a period of time. She won't give you back your stuff. You want $5,000. Your sister says you can have your stuff whenever you want it. It's in storage. All you have to do is pay the storage fee, because she's not paying for it anymore. And the reason you're annoyed with her and this whole thing started is because she recently adopted your 3 children, and the adoption was finalized in February of this year. Is that right?
Yes.
How old are the 3 children?
11, 10, and 9.
How long have they been in your physical custody?
Since 98.
Were they given to you by the courts?
Yes.
Your sister's parental rights were terminated?
Yes.
Okay. Why were you in jail the last time when your sister took your property at your request?
They said that I was under the influence.
So it was a drug-related arrest?
Yeah. But as soon as they found out that I was clean, they let me out of prison and off parole.
Fine. How long were you in prison?
A week and a day.
And when was that?
It was February 13th.
Where's your stuff?
In storage, I guess.
Her stuff in storage?
In storage, yes.
All of the stuff. Where did you get it from?
She was living with my father in a mobile home. Everything was taken out of the mobile home because he was evicted due to her drug trafficking.
All I'm asking you is, her stuff was taken out, furniture, clothes, everything else?
Everything was put in storage.
Did you tell her that you put it in a storage unit?
No.
When did she find out that you put it in a storage unit?
The day she got out.
Which was?
The 21st of February. I picked her up.
Why didn't you take it out the 21st of February?
Because it's in her name.
Did she go up there with you once?
Yes, April 7th.
What happened on April 7th?
I opened the storage and told her to take what she wanted. She took a small box of makeup. That was it. She didn't have room to put anything else.
Fine. Very, very simple. The court will issue an order that as soon as you pay the storage fees, Ms. Jameson, you can go and get anything you want out of that. You can empty it out, and you are going to do that within 5 days. Is that fine? Then you can get all your stuff. Why?
I can do it today.
Fine.
They have to be there,
Perfect. Will you put your hand down? Will you sign a notarized letter that she is entitled, as soon as she pays, all the storage fees to go in and take whatever she wants out of storage?
Fine.
What about my jewelry she has?
Do you have any of her jewelry?
Yes, I do.
What jewelry do you have?
I have a bag of jewelry. I
over.
paid $100 for this so she would not pawn it.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Give it to her. You don't want to bother.
I don't want any part of it.
Byrd, take the jewelry. Give it back to her.
What about my $100 I gave her for that?
You have 3 nice children?
Oh, yeah, of course I do.
Thank you. You got the jewelry back. You go get your stuff as soon as you can pay for it. I'm telling you that she doesn't have to maintain the storage anymore after next month. Listen to me very carefully, which means the storage company has the ability to snip the lock and take your stuff and throw it in the garbage. So you have 48 hours, because you said you can do it today. So you have 2 days to go there. Pay for the storage. I don't know how much it is.
What about my dad? Doesn't he have to pay half? Half of it says she put it in there. I didn't ask her to.
You want your stuff back?
Yeah,
you pay
I want
the
it all back.
storage. Do you understand?
That's fine.
Good. How much is storage?
$395.
You have the money?
Yes, I have the money.
Good.
Do I get everything that's in the storage?
You get everything that's yours in the storage.
I have pictures of her items. Then she would have to have my dad pay for his other half. Why should I pay the full storage?
She's not having her dad pay for anything. You have to pay $395 if you want to get your stuff out of storage today. Do you understand?
Yes. Yeah.
Period. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. Matter of Medrano versus Moreland.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Miss Medrano, defendant was your boyfriend, and you claimed that you made a $1,200 loan in order to help him break a lease for his apartment. Mr. Moreland has an entirely different story, which I'm going to let him tell me.
Right.
Because you do acknowledge that she gave you $1,200.
Correct.
When did she give you the $1,200?
It's around February of 2008, during my birthday. I was going to depart the city. I told her I was going to leave.
You were going to leave what city?
Indianapolis, and I was going back to New York. And
Are you originally from New York?
Yes, ma'am.
And how long were you and Miss Medrano dating at the time?
For about a year. And that's when she had persuaded me that I should stay, get an apartment. I got an apartment because I had a friend that also, too, needed an apartment. So we got the apartment together.
Where was Miss Medrano living?
She was staying with her mother at the time.
Go ahead.
And during that time, I had a friend. He moved in with me. He was unable to financially make the rent. So
just a minute. So you rented an apartment with a friend.
Right.
Did you sign a lease?
Yes, ma'am.
Did the friend sign the lease?
No, ma'am.
And how much was the rent?
$500 a month.
So you each were paying $250?
Right.
And then he couldn't make the rent?
Right, he couldn't make the rent.
So what happened, Mr. Moreland?
At that time, he left the apartment, and I told her that I was...
When was this?
This was around April of 2008, last year. And I had made her aware, notified her that I was going to leave the city right then and there because I didn't have an apartment to go to, and I just wanted to leave.
Well, you had an apartment to go to. You had signed a lease.
Right.
So you were just going to break the lease and leave?
Yeah, I was going to break the lease and leave.
And what did she say?
She said, no, don't do that. Stay. I'll give you the money. So then she gave me $1,200.
What was the $1,200 for?
It was for the rent because I wasn't able to pay his half. And then also, too, there were some other things.
That's not correct.
Shh. I'll get to you in a minute.
And then also, too, I had a car payment that I had to make.
Okay. Now, in April of 2006, did Miss Medrano come to stay with you?
No, she did not. She was already staying there. And she already had her belongings already there.
Already
during
where?
the time, at the apartment.
How often did she stay there?
I say about 5 nights out of 7 nights during the week. The weekend she would leave and go back over to her mother's or do whatever.
Why is that?
I don't know why I don't know if she was going to the club or what she was doing.
What club?
Clubs around the city or wherever.
What were you doing on the weekends?
I was doing the same thing. I would go to the...
All right, Miss Medrano, let's hear your version of the $1,200.
In April, he asked me to borrow the money, and I told him no at first, but then eventually I did let him borrow it. And that was not to pay any of his bills. That was actually to break the lease of his apartment and move into another one in Indianapolis.
Did he, in fact, do that?
No, he did not. I'm really not sure where the money went to.
I want you to tell me exactly what he said to you.
He asked me to borrow the money in order to break the lease to his apartment and move into another apartment in Indianapolis. But I really strongly believe that he was behind on child support and that it went to his baby's mother.
Were you behind in child support?
No, ma'am.
How much did you pay in child support?
It was just $50 a week, so I wasn't, no reason to be behind him.
And actually, I have another statement. His baby mother called me, so that's why I really strongly believe that, because she did let me know that he was behind on.
Tell me what she said. That's hearsay. Okay. When did the two of you break up?
In May of 2008.
Under what circumstances?
Because he was cheating on me with his baby's mother.
That's incorrect. I was just being honest with her. I made her aware that I wasn't going to be able to be faithful to her. It wasn't with any ex-girlfriend or anything else like that. I just let her know I wasn't going to be able to be faithful, so we might as well not be in a relationship. And that's when she had got upset.
It's not true.
And agitated about the situation.
Okay, so let me understand this. You broke up a month later.
Right, correct.
Or within that month.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, you were taking $1,200 from her.
Yes, ma'am.
To pay a variety of bills, none of which were hers.
Correct.
And shortly after you got the $1,200 from her, you told her that you could not be faithful to her in a committed relationship.
Correct.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, ma'am.
Nice. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,200. Thank you. That's
Parties are excused.
counterclaims dismissed.
You may step out.
Pretty much just a woman scorn, and this is just really how a woman gets sometimes.
He had been lying to her also.
Honesty doesn't pay off at the end of the day.
Learn how to be faithful.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Massa versus Nowak. Step forward, please.
Sammy Massa is suing his ex-boyfriend, Daryl Nowak, for unpaid loans to pay his rent and car note. He is also suing for the return of his record collection.
Mr. Massa, you and the defendant lived together for approximately 8 years, according to your complaint. You lived together as a couple, and you claim that during that period of time, you paid as a loan to the defendant his share of living expenses, rent, and car payments when he lost his job. You want that money back. In addition, you say that when he left, he took a valuable and sentimental CD collection, and you want that back. The defendant says that he has the CD collection, that he's keeping it, holding it hostage until you return to him some of the things. I assume that some of the things, they were things that you gave to him as gifts that you refused to return to him. And he says that as far as the rent and car payments were concerned, there was never any discussion when you were together about that money being paid back. Are these the items that you want, sir, that are your gifts?
I believe they are, yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. Can we turn those, first let me see them, and then we'll turn them over to the defendant and take care of his counterclaim. Mr. Massa, you bought these for the defendant as gifts?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. There's a bracelet with your name on it. It looks like a watch. What else?
I have 2 antique estate chairs that I would also like returned to me.
2 antique estate chairs, sir. Do you
Yes,
have
Your Honor.
those?
Yes, Your Honor.
Could we make arrangements to get those to the defendant?
Sure, as soon as I receive...
No.
Okay.
They're his things. You can't hold
Okay.
things hostage. We don't hold things hostage. Okay. So these 2 things we turn over to the defendant. Thank you, Byrd. And then we'll make arrangements within 5 days to get your 2 chairs.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, you get your 2 chairs when he gets back his record collection. Do you understand? So we're
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
we're going to make that a transfer, so we know that the chairs come to you in good condition and the record collection goes to the plaintiff in good condition, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sammy Massa says his former live-in boyfriend, Daryl Nowak, owes for rent, car payments, and the return of his record collection.
Now let's talk about this money.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Massa. I'm prepared to hear you.
Daryl Nowak lost his job at the end of February and came to me in March and asked me if I would loan him money to pay his vehicle while he awaited a 401k payout and his vacation pay from his prior employee.
And how much was the vehicle payment?
The first payment was an amount of $300, and so I went and paid that, and then...
Had you ever paid for the car before?
No, Your Honor.
Is that correct, that he had never paid for it before?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so $300. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. And then back in April of 08...
April of 08, yes.
Yes.
What did he need in April of 08?
I paid another car payment of his for $325.
Okay.
And then somehow on the 5th month, he was able to call...
I got a deferment for the car payment for that month, Your Honor.
Fine.
Okay, so...
Due to the fact that I had lost my position.
Okay, good.
And then on 6/3, I loaned him $335.
For a car
payment again.
Is that correct, Mr. Nowak?
I believe it was correct, Your Honor. There was an incidental amount for, I think they had placed insurance or something.
Okay, go.
And then in July, $225.
Also for the car?
For the car payment as well. And then...
I was making arrangements at that time due to the loss of my employment. They gave me a reduced amount.
Got it. I got it. So far, this is what you owe him.
Yes.
Okay, and then on August of 8, he asked for another $325, Your Honor, which I paid for another car payment.
Go ahead.
Okay, I also paid a share of rent. The total amount of rent was $600. We was living with my mother. She paid $300, and the agreement was that we would pay $150 each. He did pay in March his $150, but from there on out, from April through September of 2008, he did not pay any of his rent. I paid that, which totals the amount of $900, which he owes me.
Do you agree you owe him that money, Mr. Nowak?
I don't know if that amount is correct, Your Honor.
That is correct. 150 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equals $900.
I didn't realize I was supposed to maintain an expense sheet in a relationship.
Well, the relationship
what I'm asking
was
you
over
is,
there
Mr.
at the
Nowak,
time,
did you ask him to pay?
there was no relationship anymore. Excuse me.
Did you ask him to pay your share of the rent?
He paid the share of the rent. I didn't ask him to pay it.
Well, how else was you supposed to?
No, Mr. Massa. Don't interfere. Okay. So far, he acknowledges he owes you the car payments, correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Now we come to an issue. The issue is whether or not there was a loan with regard to the rent.
I never agreed to repay anything.
Did you? Just a minute. Did you ask him to pay your share of the rent?
Yes, he did.
No, I did not, Your Honor.
I'm not asking you anything.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Did you ask him to pay
No,
your
ma'am, I
share
did
of the
not.
rent? All right, Mr. Massa, I'd like you to tell me how it came about that you paid the entire $300.
The lease was in my mother's name. Each month, I would give my mother $300 cash, and she would put in the other $300.
Oh, I understand that.
Right, and he asked me if I would pay his share of rent because I wasn't going to pay his expenses to have him to live.
Why not? You were living.
Yeah,
why
well,
not?
we never did that before. Everything was.
I understand, but he had no job now.
Well, that's not my responsibility.
Mr. Massa, let me explain something to you, sir. There has to be an agreement to repay.
He did agree to
There has to be an agreement to repay in order for there to be a loan. You paid his share of the rent because you were a couple, you were living together, and he didn't have
And
a
I had
job.
lost my job.
Do you understand?
Yes, I understand, but we wasn't a couple anymore. I moved back to the back bedroom after an incident that happened.
I didn't keep track of every time I bought you dinner. And
well, that has nothing to do with...
Don't talk to him. Don't talk to him. When did you move back to
I moved back in... Okay.
I ask a question, you answer. When did you move to the back bedroom, and what
I moved
month?
back there the day after my birthday in February of 2008.
Is that correct?
Or shortly thereafter.
Well, then, from April until September of 2008, you weren't a couple. You owe him the rent, sir. What else?
Okay, he also borrowed 258 some odd cents for
I think
insurance
it was
payment.
$228.
It was $258, Your Honor.
When?
August the 21st, when the car company called him and said that they would no longer carry his insurance premium anymore. He had to get insurance himself.
And you were no longer a couple then?
We was no longer a couple, but he asked me, so I went down. I put 258 some odd cents. I think it was 37 cents.
You drove the car. It was important there was insurance on it.
Mr. Nowak, listen. You want to speak to him? Go outside and speak to him.
I assumed it was an expense, that both of us incurred. I made the car payments prior to being unemployed. I didn't ask him for it. He drove the car during that time frame also. It's what you do in a relationship.
You weren't in a relationship anymore.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, if you were in a relationship, my reaction would be totally different. But from what both of you indicate,
We were
there
living
came a
in the
time-
same home.
You were living in the same home, but you were no longer living under the same bedroom roof. And there was a specific break in the relationship because he says he moved out of the room that you had shared into a back bedroom. And he did that in February of 2008, and all of these bills accrued subsequent to that. Okay. You owe him $2,668. That's all. The exchange of property will be made within 5 days.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I didn't realize you had to maintain an expense sheet when you're in a relationship.
You have to pay for yourself in life. I'm not going to pay for somebody else.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Williams versus Bertello, step forward, please.
25-year-old Ashley Williams is suing her ex-roommate, 23-year-old Joseph Joey Bertello, for unpaid rent on their shared apartment.
Ms. Williams, you and the defendant were friends and leased an apartment together. He moved out to go into rehab. Had a drug problem or a drinking problem?
Pain prescription pills.
You could not maintain the apartment by yourself. You broke the lease. And now the landlord is pursuing you for 7 months' rent. You want the defendant to pay half of that.
Correct.
When did you sign the lease?
We signed the lease in June of 2007.
When did you move out, sir?
It was November 2007.
When did you move out?
November 2007.
You moved out to go into rehab.
Yes.
Why did you move out?
I moved out because I couldn't afford to live there anymore.
How much was the rent?
$1,190.
Do you have any notification from the landlord that they are pursuing you for this money?
Yes, I do.
Can I see it, please? Okay, sir. I'm prepared to hear your defense.
Okay. Starting from the beginning?
Well, you don't have to start back from your birth. You moved into the apartment June of 07. You moved out November of 07.
Correct.
The landlord wants, between the two of you, $7,840.
Correct.
Why should you not be responsible for half of that?
Well, when I moved out, I had developed a problem. I had been in several car accidents prior to that, and I was prescribed medications, and I just got to be out of control. And I kind of sat her down and said, look, I need to go get help. I'm going to move back in with my parents for now and check myself into a rehab. And when I told her that, she agreed that it was more important than living together and, you know, the rent. And so we had an agreement that I was going to move out and she was going to ask her sister to move in with her and take my place.
You had an agreement that she would try to find somebody else.
Yeah, her sister. She had mentioned that her sister liked our place and maybe possibly thought about moving in. And when
well, that's a possibility. Did that happen?
No, it didn't.
Didn't happen?
No. And so a few days later, she had left to go to LA to visit her boyfriend at the time. My mom came and stayed with me at the apartment, and then after that, I got all my things and left. When I came back and she was there, that's when she told me, look, I can't find anybody. I'm going to move out now. And so I told her, I said, I thought we were in agreement that you were going to have your sister move in.
No, there was no agreement, sir. You just said to me there was a possibility that maybe her sister would move in. But before you got all your things together and moved out, she told you that her sister wasn't moving in.
No, that actually happened afterwards. When I got my
That's
stuff
not
and
true.
I came back for the last of my things.
Your stuff was still there. If the last of your things was still there, sir, you were still there. She told you she couldn't get her sister to move in. You
yeah.
had a choice. You could have stayed in the apartment.
Yeah, I mean, but I did tell her.
When you left in November, where did you immediately go?
The first place I went was my mother's.
And how long did you stay there?
I stayed there for about a month, and then that's when I checked into rehab.
Did you finish rehab?
Yes.
You're okay now?
Yeah.
Great. You owe her half this money. I'm glad you went into rehab. I'm glad everything is great. I'm glad you recognized it. All of that is terrific. You can't leave somebody in the lurch because you had a problem.
I actually have proof that he's lying, if you would like that. He signed something when we moved out saying that he would be rent responsible as well as me until the apartment was rented.
I thought that was I was signing away saying that I don't have any more responsibilities to this apartment. I thought the agreement was saying that.
Well,
says
whether
you
he
do.
did or whether he didn't. Judging for the plaintiff for the amount of $39.20. Thank you.
Parties are excused on the calendar in the matter of Kelly versus Watwood. As have been sworn in, Judge, you may be seated.
Thanks,
Young
Brett.
man, have a seat. You're welcome, Judge.
Ms. Kelly, the defendant was a former boyfriend of yours. According to your complaint, he owes you for two things. A loan that you made to him while you were dating in the amount of $1,200 to fix his truck. And then is your claim that he assaulted you sometime afterwards, causing you to lose a front tooth. You wanted to pay for the dental work. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When were you dating the defendant? What month and year?
Jason and I met in like the end of February of last year.
When did he move in with you?
About 3 months after we met.
And when was this loan made?
It was in December.
Tell me the circumstances of the loan.
Jason bought a 69 Chevrolet pickup truck. At that point, we broke up. And we got back together, and he had the truck for like a month, and the truck broke down on him.
When you say you broke up, did he move out of your house?
Yes, ma'am. He moved
Well,
out.
when did he move out? Moved in May of 2000.
Right, and we lived together about 6 months. And then he moved out, which Jason was always coming and going and living with me, between me and his mother. And so during this time that he buys his truck, we're getting back together and he's starting a new job, and the truck breaks down on him. I'm having to take Jason back and forth to work. Well, during this time, he puts the truck in the shop, and he was asking me if I would loan him the money and that he would pay me back.
And he was not living with you at the time?
Yeah, in December, yes, ma'am, he was living
He
with me.
was?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now, there came a time when you claim he assaulted you. When was that?
That was in the end of December, 1st of January. Jason and I started talking about him not paying me back any of the money. And he had been drinking, and he became very violent and was very upset with me, and said that he had been giving me, money for living in the house, which I'm not denying the fact that Jason would give me $100, $150 every paycheck, but it did not consist of anything concerning the amount of money that I loaned him for the truck.
Okay, so what happened?
Well, like I said, he was, very upset with me. He had been drinking. He threw me down in the kitchen floor, and I have hardwood floors through my downstairs, and I hit my mouth, which my son is here as a witness of that. And once I broke away from that situation with Jason, I ran into the living room. That's when my son appeared in the living room. He also was on Jason, trying to help me get Jason off of me. And when I finally was away from him, of course, my mouth was bleeding, and I go to the restroom, and my tooth had been knocked out.
Can I see the bill from the dentist for that?
Yes, ma'am. I also have a letter from the dentist.
Did you file a police report?
No, ma'am, I did not. I'd had Jason arrested before for assault, and went to court and helped him get out of that like a fool, but I did.
When was that?
That was back in probably August.
And then you took him back into your house?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay, I'll hear you.
Your Honor, I didn't voluntarily move in with Michelle. She had asked me several times to move in with her. I stayed with her a good bit, but I didn't want to move in with her because I wasn't making a whole lot of money. I was working construction, making cash money. While I was at work, Miss Kelly went to where I was living, and she got my clothes and brought them to her house. That's how the moving in arrangement. She wanted me to move in. I said, look, you've got payments that I can't support you with, which that's fine. I make plenty of money, so don't worry about that. So, no, I can't do that. Well, she went and got my clothes anyway.
So why don't you go get your clothes back?
Well, I thought if she wants me to move in this bad with her, then I mean,
Jason, that is
why
a
not?
lie.
Don't speak to him. No, I'm just asking you. You're a big guy. You work construction. You work off the books. You get paid in cash. You sound like a pretty smart guy. So if somebody takes your clothes and moves them into the house and you don't want to go, you say, gee, I like you very much. I'm going to move my clothes back.
Yes, ma'am. I agree. I should have done that.
Well, you didn't. So, and how long did you live there under duress?
From about April to about beginning of January.
So that's a long time that you were living there in slavery.
I'm not complaining.
You're not complaining. So you lived there.
Yes, ma'am.
And what? And how much money did you give her while you were living?
I would give her. I mean, my check was usually somewhere between $300 and $500. I'd give her all my money except for about $50. Well, the situation was, if I got paid by check, I could not give her the check to deposit in her bank account because she lives off of her dead husband. If she makes more than $7,000 or $9,000, I forget which one it is, a year, then she gets penalized on that money. So she'd want me to cash my check and just give her the money, and I would keep $40 or $50 for me spending money for that week, and she'd make sure that I had whatever I needed at home, which was fine.
Okay, good. So
as far as the tooth.
No, don't go to the tooth yet. I'm still with the truck.
Okay. Now the truck. I took it to I had Lake City Auto come and get it. I would go down to pay it, and Michelle would not want me just to give them cash money because if they said we didn't pay any money on it, if she just wrote a check, give her the cash, then we'd be able to trace it and show me, look, we paid with a check, we'd be able to trace it, which at the time seemed like the right thing to do.
So how much money were you giving her every month?
At a minimum, $200 per week, a minimum of $800 per month.
And you considered the money that she wrote for the fixing of your truck money that you had, in fact, contributed to the household?
No, ma'am.
You gave her additional money.
I would give her all my money just where she would have money. I mean, I was the one that would give the lunch money in the mornings. I would take the kids to school. She's been to court probably several times for the kids being tardy from school, from absences. And if I had to take them several times, she'd have been right back there again.
That is not true, Your Honor. Jason did give me $80 towards the loan.
When?
He did do that. In February.
Is that right?
Like the first week of February.
I gave her $80, but it wasn't for the loan. I was going to give her $100 to help her out. And she was griping because all I was giving her was $100. And she started mouthing off. And so I pulled a 20 off of the stack of 20s. I said, you're down to 80. And so she hushed, and I gave her the money. And then, of course, when she got the money, she said her piece again and left.
So you paid her $80 back?
No, just to help her out, not as a loan. I give her money throughout the time that we was dating, and more so than my part of the bills. I mean, she'd have $600 phone bills and would get mad at me.
All yours,
and I would sit there and I would line them up. I said, well, let's calculate these and see how much mine are. So 1 month mine come to $24. The next month might come to $26. So why would I owe her more than that?
And he never paid.
Tell me about this incident, sir, where she says that you threw her down on the floor.
She didn't like my hours at my new job. I'd get home about 9:30 or 10 at night. Well, she couldn't stay home. She had to go out. She had to go out drinking. Well, I get home, and the kids would be a little worried, is Mom coming home? Are you going to meet her? So now I'm just going to hang right here, and then ask me to call her, so I'd call her. Well, she need to come home. Well, I'll come home when I want to. You know, you're at work all day. I'm, you know, entitled to go out and have a good time. Well, she come home, and then the night that she had come home and that we'd actually got into, I was just trying to keep her from hitting me and kneeing me. And I would grab her, I hold her to keep her from doing that. The reason why she was so mad was because one phone bill that we had, she couldn't find one of the pages. It just mysteriously disappeared. Well, I called the phone company and asked them to send me a copy of the bills. Okay, I asked her again, where's this page from the phone bill? Well, I don't know. I showed her the copy. It was the page that was missing, which was a page full of calls to her ex-boyfriend. And of course, that's when she went off. She was about half-time, and it made her mad, so she went off.
What time did this happen, sir?
This was probably around midnight.
Around midnight.
Between 11 and 12, I would say.
Can I speak, Your Honor?
Just a second. With the children, shh. Is that when she came home?
She came home around, I'd say around 11. And,
She came home at around 11.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Step up next to your mom. I just have a couple of questions for you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michelle Kelly says ex-boyfriend Jason Watwood owes for an unpaid loan and for knocking out her tooth.
Tell me your name.
Corey.
Corey, do you remember when your mom and Mr. Watwood had an argument?
Yes, ma'am.
What time of the day was it?
It was about 1 o'clock
1 o'clock when?
in the morning.
Had you been sleeping?
Yes.
Do you remember what time you went to sleep?
About 9 o'clock, because it was a school night.
Was your mom home when you went to sleep?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know whether your mom went out again that evening?
No, ma'am.
You don't know?
No, ma'am.
Was Mr. Watwood at home when you went to sleep?
No, ma'am.
What time did you get home that evening, sir?
About 9:30.
When you got home, was the plaintiff at home?
Jesse and Corey was at home.
I asked you if the plaintiff was at home when you got home at 9:30.
No, ma'am.
The children were sleeping?
No, they were still awake.
Do you remember your mom going out?
No, ma'am.
You don't remember, or she didn't go out?
Well, I really don't know if she went out, but when me and my sister go to bed, she doesn't really ever go out.
What happened to wake you up at 1 o'clock in the morning?
Well, I was sleeping, and I heard a big noise, and downstairs, and I went and told my sister, and she just fell back asleep because she didn't hear anything. And I went downstairs, and I saw him hitting my mom. Well, not hitting her, but he had her down on the ground, and he wouldn't let her up.
In what room was that?
It was in the kitchen.
And what was your mom wearing?
She was wearing, I can't remember.
What was the defendant wearing?
He was wearing a white shirt and I think a pair of blue jean shorts.
And you don't remember what your mom was wearing?
No, ma'am.
Okay, sit down.
Your Honor?
What?
I'd just like to say that this is what Miss Kelly does for a living. She sues people for a living. And I've been at her home several times when she's prepped the kids as to what to say, what to do.
What kind of lawsuit, sir?
Corey got hit by a car a few years back, and the lawsuit went on and on and on. Instead of settling for, I think it was $70,000, she got greedy and wouldn't settle, so she ended up losing the lawsuit. And she's in lawsuits right now from her house, and she's suing four different people. And she's even told me that, you know, they've offered her $100,000 a piece, but she won't take it. She's going for $1 million a piece. That's what she does for a living.
I don't know if she does that for a living, so she has to do something else for a living. What kind of work do you do?
Actually, I'm a widow, and I'm a housekeeper. I take care of my children.
How much money do you get from Social Security?
$944.
A month?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any other source of income?
Yes, ma'am. I have my child support.
From?
My children's father.
I thought you said you were a widow.
I am. My second husband was killed in a car wreck.
What's the amount of your child support?
Right now, it's $800 a month.
Okay. Now, are you telling me, Miss Kelly, that you had not been out that evening?
No, ma'am, I didn't. I would go pick him up. He worked 6 nights a week. His truck was in the shop. I took him to work every single morning and picked him up every single night.
When did the truck come out of the shop?
And the truck was in the shop for over a month.
When did it come out of the shop?
At the end of December, 1st of January.
Well, then the truck wasn't in the shop at the time you say he assaulted you, because you'd already given the money.
Yes, ma'am, it was afterwards.
So then what were you taking him to work for?
Because when he got the truck back, it broke down again, and he has yet to even taken it back to see if anything that I had paid for that truck being fixed, he has not even taken it back to see if that was it. He's driving his father's Cavalier once again, and the truck's still sitting on the side of the road.
I just had to take it in one day. They put a new distributor cap on it. It was fine. It was January 10th when I got my truck out. Unless I'm mistaken, Tuesday through Saturday is 5 nights a week that I work, not 6.
And after that, the truck was not back in the shop?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Watwood, the only question that I have for you, I'm not satisfied that there was a loan for this truck.
Okay.
The only thing that I have to ask you is I want you to describe the incident that took place in the kitchen for me.
Michelle come in for being out. I was already there. When she come in, I said, Michelle, did you ever find the other page to the phone records? No, she never had found them. I said, well, just so happens I got a copy made. Here's the page that was missing. And that's when she went off, got mad. She was, like I said, she was about half-tight. She had way too much to drink. She's the one that, when she loses her temper, she goes off. All I did, Your Honor, was just, when she was trying to hit me, I would hold her arms to keep from hitting me, and I would turn to the side to keep her from hitting me. And she was kicking and swinging so wildly that she fell when I was holding her arms because her feet just from trying to kick me.
Does the incident with the page from the phone bill sound familiar to you?
No, ma'am. I don't have a clue what he's talking about. He had a $600
well,
phone bill
the only
every
thing
month,
that I
and
ask
he
you,
never
the
paid it
reason I
either.
ask you that, Miss Kelly, is in your complaint, you say that this fight took place in mid-December, not in January, because in this complaint you say, around the holiday times, I begged him to pay me back because I needed extra cash for presents. Did you forget that you wrote that?
No, ma'am. Actually, I didn't write that.
Let me see if you signed it. That is your signature.
Yes,
because it's the same as here, and you signed it, you swore to it, and you said, around the holidays, I begged him to pay me back because I needed extra cash for presents.
Right.
That's what you signed.
Right.
Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And I'm just glad that, Judge, you can see through her.
He's a loser, and I know what he is. And that's the bottom line.
It's completely bogus. No truth to it at all.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of James versus James. Step forward, please.
28-year-old construction worker Cameo James is suing her brother, 27-year-old truck driver John James, and his wife, Celine. Cameo says her brother owes her for bail and loans to help him get back on his feet.
Miss James, this is your brother.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is his wife.
Yes, ma'am.
I will start with your story. About a year ago, you claimed that your brother and his wife moved to California to be closer to you and the family.
Yes, ma'am.
Sometime after he arrived, he was arrested for domestic violence on the complaint of his wife. You posted bail for him.
Yes, ma'am.
That money you want back.
Yes.
You claim that later he separated from his wife and he moved back to Arizona without your wife.
Yes.
And then decided to come back to California.
Yes.
And according to you, he called you and you again assisted him in paying for some stuff to get out of storage and wiring him some money.
Yes.
How much money did you wire him?
I've sent him money, wired him money 3 times.
Go ahead, let me hear.
I believe one time was 200, one time was 300, and the other time was 200.
You have no records of this?
Not the original Western Union records, I do not. But I do have a signed statement from my brother showing that we did have an agreement as to the amounts.
Oh, let me see that. And the bail was how much?
$1,015.
Okay. So according to this, he owes you $1,330. Is that right?
Yes, on that one, yes.
And what's the other money for?
The other $415 is for a storage unit.
Okay. Now I'll hear you.
Well, as far as the storage unit, my whole family knew that I'd gotten behind on my storage payment. I was about a month and a half behind. I sat down at her kitchen table, and she, without any kind of problem whatsoever, told me to sit down, and I was going to accept it no matter what. It was a gift. She handed me the receipt. I was in shock because, it was a $415 gift. She said, just call it an early Christmas present.
No, it was absolutely not a gift.
Well, tell me how it came about.
He was behind in his storage unit. They were getting ready to lose the storage unit, and he asked me if I would help him yet again, so I did.
No, ma'am.
Well, Miss James, let me tell you what I think. Since you have carefully memorialized every other debt that he owes you, why wouldn't you have put the $415 here as part of his loan?
Because it was a separate issue. That first set of debts was due to the travel money, wiring him the money back and forth. The storage unit was a separate issue.
I understand it had a lot. There were a lot of different things. This wasn't just bail money. This was bail money, wire money, everything else. So if you had these things, and if it was just a loan, you should have put it down on here.
I should have.
You should have. But one of the things that you said in your complaint was that you gave him this money, but there was a condition. And the condition was that he not go back with his wife. And since he broke that agreement and went back with his wife, you now want your money back.
That's pretty much how it is.
Go ahead.
Part of me helping him was that he was supposed to get his life together. He was supposed to get his life on track.
One of the on tracks was to leave Celine. She's bad news. She's trouble. She's caused him nothing but heartache and grief. I'm throwing away good money after bad, and he's going to return to her again.
I guess he is.
I guess he is.
Learn your lesson. But if this was part of a loan that you made, I must assume that you would have put it on the very carefully detailed memorialized loan. So I'm issuing a judgment in the amount of $1,330. Mr. James, you owe that to your sister, correct?
I guess I do.
Out of James Cahoot versus Cahoot. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Victoria, this is your father.
Yes.
Is that right? And Miss James, Victoria has been living in your house for the past 18 months?
Yeah, 19 now, I think.
Your lawsuit seeks support from Victoria's father for her over the last 18 months. The defendant says that his door has always been open to his daughter. She can come back and live with him whenever she wants to. And he provides for medical coverage for her. Some other things I assume that he's going to tell me, and he has no intention of paying you for support because his daughter should be living at his house. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Victoria, how old were you when you left home?
15 and a half, maybe 16.
And where did you go?
My friend Amanda's house in Grants Pass, and I lived there for about a month, and then I moved in with Perry. And I lived there for about 4 months, and then I moved in with Alicia James.
Why did you leave home?
My dad was abusive. He was always drunk, and I just couldn't handle it anymore. He would throw me out of the house and kick me out. He kicked me out and said that he didn't want me living in his house anymore.
What did you have to fight about? You must have had a fight about something.
Everything. My friends, school, me going out, everything.
Your parents are divorced, is that right?
Yes.
How long have your parents been divorced?
Since I was 1.
And were you always in the custody of your father?
No, I lived with my mother, and then at age 4, my dad had temporary custody for I think about 4 months. And then I moved back in with my mother, and I moved out when I was almost 13 and moved to Oregon to be with my father.
So what prompted you to move in with your father when you were 13?
I never really lived with him. I wanted to know what he was like.
You have siblings?
Yes, one brother.
How old?
23.
Okay. Now, when you left the first time and you went to your friend Amanda's house, did you stay in contact with your father?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You knew she was living with Amanda?
I knew she was living somewhere, and I just wanted to make sure she was safe, so...
Did you know she was living with Amanda?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you take any steps to have your daughter return to your house, legal steps at that time? The answer is either yes or no.
Yes.
What did you do?
I called the local police and had her listed as a runaway.
No, that doesn't try to get her back. All that does is cover you behind. When you try to get her back, you say, I want my daughter back. And you go to court, and you bring Amanda's parents to court, and you say, listen, you're interfering with my parental responsibility and my parental rights to have my daughter living with me. I want this thing resolved. Reporting a child as a runaway when you know where she lives is ridiculous. All right, now the next place she went to the... Did you tell your father where you were when you were at the... You were there for 4 months?
Yes.
Now, Miss James, what prompted you to allow this young lady to come and move into your house?
Perry had asked me if I could take the older 2, which would have been Vicki and Karen, with the younger 2, my daughter and his daughter, all take them shopping for school. And I said, yeah. So we took them all. I took them all. The girls got in an altercation, and Vicki could no longer stay with them. So I asked Vicki, I says, well, what are you going to do? She goes, I don't know. I don't have a place to go. And I says, well, you can't stay with me unless I talk to your father. So she agreed to that, and immediately, right then, after the altercation, and she found out she couldn't be there, I went over to Mr. Cahoot's house. And I asked him the situation that was going on between him and his daughter, you know, told him what had happened. He told me under no circumstance was his daughter going to live with him, that he was not allowing her back in the home.
Why?
He told me that she was out of control, so on and so forth. Just, you know, basically a bad kid. I said, well, I don't know what to do here. I said that I agreed that she could stay with me. I agreed that she could stay with me, but I couldn't afford to support her because I could barely afford to support myself and my daughter, and that he would have to, you know, help out with food and clothing and, you know, medical and stuff like that. He agreed to do so, and he did. He helped for about the first 3 months.
What did he do for the first 3 months?
He made sure that he bought Vicky a few items of clothing, nothing major to start school with. He helped out with food.
How did he help out with the food? Did he buy food or did he give you money?
He bought food, and he had food at his house, and extra food, and so he would bring it over.
But he didn't give you a set amount of money?
No.
Go ahead.
So anyway, and then on or about September 21st, I had Victoria and her father and me sign an agreement of the rules that we would be living in the home, and I do have a copy of that.
I'd like to see it, please. Would you show this to the defendant and ask him to look at it and tell me if that is his signature, which I have compared to the answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That is your signature witnessing, as witness to the agreement between these two ladies, the rules of the house.
Yes, ma'am.
And Vicky has been living with you ever since.
Yes, the agreement, part of the other agreement was, Your Honor, that Victoria's grades would be kept up in school.
Well, that's right here. C's are better.
Yep.
Have you been doing that?
Here's a copy of her grades and an honorable mention in our newspaper for this first quarter's.
How was your daughter doing in school when she was living with you, sir?
Not well. I sent her to another school, and she seems to have done better. I sent her to a lockdown adolescent.
When did you do that?
2000.
Well, evidently, that didn't work out either.
It cost $28,000 to get her in there, and I did through all the therapies and everything I could with her. She was out of control. She was listed as a runaway more often than not.
Something wasn't right, sir. But evidently, whatever it was that wasn't right is better now that she's living with the plaintiff.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She's finally learned her lessons and decided she can't be a thug that smokes, drinks, and stays out with the boys, have sex with the boys in my room, and leaves the evidence behind for me to clean up.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 18-year-old Victoria Cahoot says her father, David Cahoot, owes for the cost of her living expenses. David says Victoria should be living at home.
Whatever it was, it seems to have been resolved with her living with the plaintiff. Have you seen a copy of your daughter's grades?
Yes, I have, and that's just a recent thing, ma'am.
Recent or not, it appears to me that living with the plaintiff seems to have resolved, at least temporarily and hopefully permanently, the problems that your daughter was having, at least scholastically. Wouldn't you say that that's true, sir?
I would not say that living with her has caused all this to be the success. I think finally it's Victoria that has finally come around, and with all the school that cost me so much, she's finally learned her lessons and decided she can't be a thug that smokes, drinks, and stays out with the boys, have sex with the boys in my room, and leaves the evidence behind for me to clean up.
Sir, usually when children act out very badly, they're trying to make a statement. Now, that's not to say that she should not be responsible for what she does. She is responsible. What I'm looking for you to do is to take responsibility for what you and your ex-wife have done to her. Because if you think that it's a normal arrangement for a child to live with one parent, then go to the other, go back to one parent, then go to the other, that is not a normal arrangement, sir. And I don't know whether, and I'm certainly not going to get into the fact with you or your daughter, because I think it's counterproductive as to whether what she says is true, that you have an alcohol abuse problem.
No, ma'am, I do not.
Well, I said I'm not getting into that, because just as I don't think it's productive for you to have brought up to me, now with your daughter here, the negatives of her past behavior, so too, sir, do I think that it would be stupid for me to explore whether she was right or wrong in saying that you had a substance abuse problem. Do you understand? And were abusive to her. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the only issue that I have to resolve in this case is whether your daughter was living with Mrs. James with your permission. Your answer says she was not living there with your permission, that your home was always open to her.
Yes, ma'am.
And therefore, you are not liable for her support. The contract that you witnessed in October of 2001, which outlined the rules for your daughter remaining in Mrs. James's home, is testament to the fact that your daughter was living there with your permission and approval. That being the case, sir, you are responsible for her support. Period. End of discussion. The only issue is how much. Put your hand down, madam. Do you get support for your daughter from her mother?
No longer, ma'am.
When did it stop?
On her 18th birthday.
Which was when?
18 February.
So from the time she came to Mrs. James's home for the last 19 months, or 18 months, you were getting support from Vicky's mother for her. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
In what amount?
$275 a month.
What were you doing collecting support for her when she wasn't living with you?
I maintain a home for her.
No, sir. I'm already telling you. You permitted her to live with Mrs. James with your not only tacit approval, with your active approval in witnessing this agreement. You said, keep her. She's too much trouble for me. I'm giving you my permission to keep her. I'm witnessing the agreement that you two are signing to permit her to live in your house. That doesn't mean she's living there without your permission. Your door is open. You may have spoken to a lawyer who said to you, listen, as long as you can convince a judge that your door is always open and that all she has to do is abide by your rules, you're not responsible for her support. That's not the case here, sir. She lived outside your home with your permission, and you're responsible for her support. Not only that, would you be responsible for her support, but you're getting support from her mother for her and keeping it. You can't do that. $4,950 so far. Next, did you claim her on your tax returns last year?
Yes, ma'am.
She wasn't living with you for the full year.
She was living with me 6 months.
So you took advantage of her status as a minor child without any of the downside, which means that you kept her mother's money, the $275, you claimed her on your tax returns. You didn't do the right thing, sir.
And I provided the medical for her, which is not inexpensive.
Just a second.
I provided medical, and I still do.
How much? Just a second. How much does it cost you to provide medical coverage for your daughter?
Because I'm a retired military officer.
Yes.
We get it for the entire family for $460 a quarter, which is full coverage.
Just a second. $460 a quarter for the entire family. That's you and who else?
Her.
$1,840 a year. Now, what is an individual plan?
They charge me $90 for a quarter.
Show me.
I don't think I have that down here. I just have where I have her on here. And I have my medical bills I spent during that time on her.
Good.
Because I did cover her.
Good.
The bills where I covered her, you would like to see them, ma'am?
No. Did you spend more than $5,000?
A year? No, ma'am.
No.
Close to, well, a year. With Victoria and all, it was about $800 for a year. Total.
$800 you spent.
Plus, ma'am, earlier though, on this, when I had sent her this adolescent treatment team there in Reno, which she was diagnosed with oppositional defiance disorder, and a very big handful, and I did my best, Your Honor, to do what I could to. I went to family psychology meetings with her, and everything. She asked me to quit my job. I did.
Listen to me, sir. What I'm saying to you is your daughter seems to be doing fine. And what I'm saying to you is we're talking about money. And so far, your ex-wife contributed to you almost $5,000 in support for your daughter who wasn't living with you. Now, let us assume that each of you have a 50% responsibility to support your child. That means you would pay $5,000 and your ex-wife would pay $5,000. And so far you've told me that in a year you spent $800 on your daughter, which, even if you had no obligation to pay support for her, which you do, still leaves $3,500 that you wound up in profit. profit from what your ex-wife sent to you for the support of your child that you didn't turn over to her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
I paid $200 a month to have someone pick Victoria up while I was working for the post office to take her into school every day, and I picked her up when I got off work in the middle of my night, so to speak, because I work nights at there. She requested that. She said, Dad, everything will be great if you quit your job.
You're talking about when she was living with you?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't care when she was living with you. That's what you do. You're her parent. You do whatever you have to do. I'm talking about between you and a stranger. Did you pick her up, pay $200 a month for somebody else to pick her up from school when she was living with Mrs. James?
She rides the bus.
I'm asking you a question.
No.
I don't care what you spent on her. I don't care if you spent the last dime that you had in the bank. She's your child. That's what you're supposed to do. I'm talking about when she was living with Mrs. James.
Anytime she called me and says, Dad, I need something, she got it.
You took money designated for her by the courts and sent to you by her mother and used it for yourself, sir. That's what you did. That is not permissible. That goes to her. That's for her support, not to divert some of your own expenses.
Ma'am, I was attempting to be a parent, and Miss James was not allowing me to be a parent.
Then what were you doing signing this document?
I was trying to make my child safe. If she's going to run around, I at least want to know where she's at, with whom
then
she's
you
with.
know, then she's there with your permission.
She still has a bedroom there and a bed in there to go
Let me
into
explain
it?
something to you. You can't double talk me, sir.
No, ma'am, it's the
You
truth.
can't. No, you're double talking me. You went there. You understood where your daughter was living. It has been a good arrangement for your daughter. Clearly, it has been a good arrangement for her. And your responsibility as a parent is to see to it that your daughter is supported. Now, I'm not even getting into what your individual responsibility would be for her support. But minimally, the money that her mother sent to you, court-ordered, for support, should have gone to Mrs. James. And I'm not belaboring the point, and that's $4,590, sir. That you had no right to take from your daughter. You had no right to take from Mrs. James. You had an obligation to turn it over to her immediately. And if you don't understand that, I'm not spending any more time, wasting my time trying to explain it to you. You had no right to take her money. Period. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,590. That's all. $950. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step up. Simons. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Looks like a lot of witnesses here for a relatively simple case. Miss Nemechek?
Yes.
I assume that this is Jessica?
Yes.
According to your complaint, you are Jessica's birth mother.
Yes.
And Jessica was adopted by a family when she was 4 years old.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are her sister.
Yes.
Adoptive sister?
Yes.
And both of her adoptive parents passed away, unfortunately, from illness. For a period of time, she was staying with you.
Yes.
And then, Ms. Nemechek, Jessica decided that she wanted to come and live with you.
Yes.
And she did for a short period of time.
Yes, Your Honor.
3 months, 4 months?
2.5 months. That was
And during-
3.5 months.
3.5 months. And during that time, you purchased some clothing for her and had other expenses.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then there was falling out.
Yes,
and
Your
she
Honor.
went back to her sister's home.
Correct.
She and her sister came and got all this stuff that you had purchased for Jessica.
Yes.
And you want to be compensated for that.
Yes.
You're Miss Brooks?
Yes.
You have a counterclaim on behalf of your sister because you have guardianship of her now.
Correct.
And that is for reimbursement from the Social Security checks.
Correct.
That was sent to Miss Nemechek. And you want that money back because you say that was hers to spend.
Correct.
Miss Nemechek, how old was Jessica when she was adopted?
4.
And did you have contact with her from age 4 to age 17?
Yes, I did.
When?
Periodically. I've had phone calls with them. I've went and seen them. Me and their godmother, the one that adopted them, was really good friends. That's the reason why I let her adopt them, was because of my sickness that I do have, and currently still have.
Is that a physiological or a mental illness?
Physiological and mental.
Did you support your daughter over the years with money?
When I seen them at times, I did when I could financially afford it.
I'm talking about regular support.
No.
When your daughter came to live with you, I assume that either you weren't getting along with your sister, is that right?
Well, I just wanted to go live with my mom. I just wanted to get to know her. I wanted to have a mother-daughter relationship with her.
Did you approve of that?
At first, no, because of all the problems that we have had with Angela.
What kind of problems?
She would call their schools when my parents were alive, trying to get them out of school. Jessica and I are, we do fight a lot, and I think we do because you don't go from being a sister to trying to be a mother. And, you know, when someone is, 14 years old, our relationship changed because...
Were you married when your parents died?
Yes.
You have children?
I have 3 children.
And you took your sister to live with you?
I took both of my sisters to live with me.
And this was the older sister?
Yes.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. She take good care of you?
Yes. I love her. She's my sister. I'm not gonna do this. When Jessica came to me and told me she wanted to know Angie. Sorry.
Would it be better if I asked you questions?
No, I need to say this because it's important. I don't know what it's like not knowing your parents. So who was I to tell Jessica that she couldn't get to know her biological mother? Unfortunately, Angela, in the whole time since my parents have had Venus and Jessica and their older brother David, my parents adopted 3 of her children so they could stay together. She never could step up to the plate and act like an adult and knock on my door and say, hey, Kath, I'm sorry your parents died. I really want to help. I really would like to get to know my daughter.
She would sneak around and see us, basically.
So it was very hard for me to let Jessica go. But I spoke with Jessica all the time. She gets a death benefit from my parents. That's what she has left of my parents.
And what did you do with your death benefit, Jessica?
I signed the money order over to my mother so she can put it in her bank. And she said she would save the money for me so I can buy a car.
Did you do that, Ms. Nemechek?
I did put that money in the bank. I put it in my savings account, and Jessica kept asking me for money, and I kept taking it out of my savings account and giving it to her. I do have proof of that.
Well, how much in the 3 months that she was there? You got 3 checks?
I got 2.
How much were they for?
$931 a each.
One was $931, one was $731, and that was it.
How much did she get?
$931 each a month, and it was a total of $2,700 and some odd dollars that was given to her from her death benefit.
Well, let's say, for argument's sake, it was about $2,000. When your daughter decided to go back, how much of the money that she turned over to you did you return to her or put in a savings account in her name?
She had none. She had taken that all out with withdrawals.
How could I...
Just a second.
Okay.
Let us assume that that's true. Who are you suing and for what?
The money that the 2 checks that she received, that Kathy had gave her, we gave her more money besides that.
You're her mother. Who's supposed to take care of
I signed my rights over.
Then
I signed my rights over.
Then Ms. Nemechek...
She's getting a check, Miss Kathy
Now,
Brooks
I'm
is...
speaking.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It's not just about the money.
Well, if it's not just about the money, you're in the wrong place. Go to a psychiatrist. Because that's what I'm here for. I'm here about the money. Other than that, you can go find Dr. Phil someplace. He'll be more than happy to hear you.
And later today...
Which one of you was driving the car?
I was, Your Honor.
Which one was drunk?
Both of us.
Okay, Mr. Rice had about $1,200 worth of damage to his property. Who's going to pay for it? I don't see those hands going up.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Angela Nemechek is suing her biological daughter, Jessica Simons, and Jessica's adoptive sister, Kathy Brooks, for money she spent on Jessica's behalf. Angela says Jessica lived with her for 3 months when her adoptive parents died.
If you don't want to be her mother, then you say, I'm sorry you can't come to live with me. But when you buy her clothes, things that you should have been buying for her for 17 years, and she decides, I am speaking, and you give it to her, that is a gift. You don't get that back. You get to say, I'm sorry it didn't work out. I know I wasn't much of a parent to you when you were growing up. I know that you had lovely parents. Fortunately, I wasn't there for you. This little bit is my small bit, aside from the fact that you got a couple of $1,000s that you spent, because $100 here and $100 there over 3 months don't come out to $2,000.
I have all my proof.
I don't care what you have. What you don't have, clearly, is a conscience. You're supposed to do the right thing.
You have no idea what I went through in the past 17 years with
That's
these
not,
people.
listen to me. Whatever happened to you over 17 years, you visited on yourself, and you also visited on your children. Because whatever problems you had, you decided to have children. They didn't make that choice. You made that choice.
Yes, Your
So
Honor.
quite frankly, nobody is interested in what you went through over 17 years. That's your problem. You visited your problems on innocence. And when you do that, you don't get sympathy. And when you do that...
The reason why I gave up my kids is because I have leukemia. I was told I had 2 years to live.
Listen to me very carefully. If God blessed you and said, while you had 2 years to live, here you are, 15 years later, still alive and kicking, then what you do if your daughter comes back to you and you've given her a couple of $1,000s in clothes that you didn't take care of over her entire growing up years, and you decided to do it,
Your
and
Honor,
if it didn't
I did
work
buy
out...
her clothes in between those 17
Miss
years.
Nemechek, quite frankly, I find your behavior bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. If you suffer from an illness, and if you're giving me that as an excuse for giving up your children, despite the fact that years later you're still here, and if you had the unique opportunity of getting to know your children again, then you don't terminate that by suing them. That's stupid
I'm
and
not suing
amoral.
my daughter. I'm suing
All
the
right.
person that gave her supposedly gave her money that she never gave her.
That has nothing to do with you. It's not your money. It's not your money. It's
Exactly.
Byrd's money. It's the citizens' money. It's not your money. Now, but for the fact, Miss Brooks, just a second.
Can
Don't
I have
move.
them walk up here?
No, I don't need them. I said there are an awful lot of witnesses here for a relatively simplistic case. There's nothing that I don't understand that I have to have
Well, there's a
made
lot
clear.
more to this case, Your Honor. It's not just about the money.
Well, if it's not just about the money, you're in the wrong place. Go to a psychiatrist. Because that's what I'm here for. I'm here about the money. That's what courts are for. Other than that, you can go find Dr. Phil someplace. He'll be more than happy to hear you. Now, shh, Miss Brooks, but for the fact that Miss Nemechek brought this action against you, would you have counterclaimed for the money that Jessica gave her?
Yes, we actually already hired an attorney to help us write up the complaint against Miss Nemechek. I also have a letter from our bank stating that Jessica's death benefit did come out of her account.
Well, let me see the letter from the bank. How long do you receive the death benefits for, Jessica?
Till I'm 18 and out of school, high school.
Well, this letter indicates, Miss Nemechek, that there were 3 checks, all in the amount of $931.
Well, all I have here is a deposit on August 9th for $731.
That doesn't mean that you didn't get $931.
And then I
that
have
means that
a deposit here
I'm
on
speaking.
September.
I'm speaking. Death benefits don't change by $200. So that means that you may have deposited $731 and taken $200 in cash.
I don't recall that, Your Honor.
Well, if you don't recall, that's why I have this from the bank. So 931 times 3 is $2,793. What'd you do with it?
Right here.
Oh, let me see it. Perfect. What's Sprint?
That's a cell phone bill.
$122?
Yes.
Get it. I don't know what this is. This is nothing. White Fox Den, $28. What's that for?
That's food.
Food?
Food.
Oh my God.
Walgreens. Sunglasses. 3 pairs of sunglasses. Shampoo. What's that for?
It's for Jessica.
Miss Nemechek, I think you're a bad lady.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Angela Nemechek, is suing her biological daughter, Jessica Simons, and Jessica's adoptive sister, Kathy Brooks, for money she spent on Jessica's behalf. Angela says Jessica lived with her for 3 months when her adoptive parents died.
I think you're a bad lady. And I believe your daughter when she said you were going to take these checks and put them in an account for her, and the purpose of that account was that when she got to be old enough, she was going to be able to buy a car for herself. I believe you told her that, and I believe that you then went through your trash can and picked out receipts that you decided for your home, for you and your husband and whoever else lives there, that the government was going to be responsible for. If you supported your daughter yourself for 3 months and you've given her no other support her whole life, you ought to thank God that somebody took care of her for the 14 years that you didn't. Judgment for the defendant on the counterclaim in the amount of $2,793. Your claim is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I wouldn't let her have custody over me, and that's just a way of revenge for her, I guess. Suing her own daughter.
I have one daughter here. She's the one I'll help, because I know she never screws me like the other one did.
She was just doing everything behind everybody's back. My son Scott, she came to his school and asked him to go and do drugs with her.
I'll see her in the next court on that one.
She does need professional help. Definitely, she does.
Maybe later on in life, if I'm not dead, then she can come around. But then again, my husband don't want her ever around.
I think it's ridiculous. I have nothing to do with her anymore.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Rice versus Welkowitz. Winnie, step forward.
Restaurant owner David Rice is suing 18-year-old James Welkowitz and his former friend, 18-year-old James Winnie, for damaging his restaurant's sign when they were driving drunk.
Welkowitz, raise your hand. Winnie, raise your hand. Which one of you was driving the car?
I was, Your Honor.
Which one was the passenger in the car?
I was, Your Honor.
Which one was drunk?
Both of us.
Raise your hand. Mr. Rice, you are the owner of a Wendy's.
Yes, I am.
These two idiots came through your drive-through.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wilkowitz driving the car,
I believe so, yes.
and Mr. Winnie, passenger in the car.
Yes.
One of them wanted free food.
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your hand if you wanted free food. Raise your hand! And when they were told they couldn't get free food, they drove off
Sped off, yes, Your Honor.
and damaged some of your property.
Hit a light pole and
a
ran
pole.
over a sign. Yes, ma'am.
And you want them to pay for the damage.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see the damage, please?
Yes. I have pictures also, Your Honor.
I'd like to see the pictures. I'd like to see the estimates.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
There you go, Bert, thank you. And I have police reports also.
We'll see. Date of the incident, please.
October 21st, 2004.
October 21st. That's my birthday.
Happy birthday. My brother's birthday also.
Now, you gentlemen were not celebrating my birthday, were you? What were you celebrating on October 21st?
We were celebrating. We were just having a night out, just drinking.
And whose car were you driving, Mr. Wilkowitz?
I was driving his car.
And how did you get the keys to his car, Mr. Wilkowitz?
He gave them to me. He asked me to drive because he was too drunk. He was swerving all over the road because we just got back from Taco Bell.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
What do you do?
I do construction.
Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, Your Honor.
When?
June 04.
And you?
I didn't graduate, Your Honor.
How old are you?
I graduate this year.
How old are you?
18.
Are you on a 5-year plan of high school?
No.
A 6-year plan?
I started school late.
You think you're going to get smarter by being drunk?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Rice has had about $1,200 worth of damage to his property. Who's going to pay for it? I don't see those hands going up.
Hey, Your Honor, can I say something, though?
That's wiping your nose, sir. I don't see the hands going up. Who's
I just
gonna
wanted to
pay?
bring up that he did break my nose. We got out the car, I pulled over, he broke my nose, I had to go to the hospital.
He broke your nose. That before or after you damaged Mr.
After.
Shh. Is that before or after you damaged Mr. Rice's property?
After I damaged his property.
Why would I care about that? I'm going to say it again. You were driving.
Yes, Your Honor.
It was your car.
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your hand and tell me who's going to pay for Mr. Rice's damaged pole and sign. Ugh.
Can I say something, Your Honor? The only reason why I hit the sign because he grabbed the wheel.
Why would I grab the own wheel in my car?
Why were you in the car with him when you were drunk?
He took my keys from my friend's mom.
Yes. That doesn't tell me how you got into the car, sir.
Because he was about to take off with my car.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's lying.
Oh. I can't anymore. I can't anymore. I mean, it's Dumb and Dumber. They were the standard for the script.
You read my mind.
Mr. Rice.
Yes, ma'am.
Sad but true. Youth of America. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $1,200. Byrd. Just take him out.
Okay. Parties are excused. You may step out. That's case number 574 on the calendar in the matter of Morton Moffitt versus Kuzmich Crowley.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
You, Mr. Morton?
I'm Mrs. Morton.
This is your dad?
Yes, Moffitt.
This is your sister?
Yes.
Your daughter and her husband?
Fiance.
Fiance.
Unless something changed.
Miss Morton, they purchased windows for you to install in your home.
Yes.
According to your complaint, the windows were the wrong size, didn't fit.
Right.
You paid them $4,000. That was the agreed price. So far, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have your bill for the windows?
Yes, we do.
I'd
Right
like
here.
to see it.
Bill and some wood.
How much were the windows in total?
The windows in total were $1,551.
Okay. The windows in total were $1,500.
Yep, $1,551 for 9 windows.
Okay, and that's what you delivered?
That is correct.
And she gave you a check for $4,000?
Yes, she did.
And you didn't furnish any additional windows?
That is correct.
So the rest of that money was allegedly for your labor?
No. I have their estimate right here, in which they broke down how they gave it.
Can I see that, please?
Installed 9 windows, or they've installed 11 windows altogether. And the estimate came with a big bow window.
No, just
which
a second.
They said.
Just a second. Speak up. Okay, so the total here was 9 standard windows, add 11 windows to replace the rest of the windows throughout the house. So this total bill was $2,747.
Yes, ma'am.
Where did the other money come from?
Well, they had done additional work through, I had some storm damage, so they did a little bit with that. They said that they were going to do extra insulation, they were going to do more of the trim. The reason that the windows didn't fit to start with was because I have an old house and they did a false window. So they just took the estimates off of the size off the windows that were in, instead of, taking that false window off and putting the size that fit. They had originally installed the 3, discovered that they didn't fit, so instead of, not leaving those, they decided to make them work, try framing them, and then they said that they were going to take back the others and reorder. Well, they never did that. Instead, they installed an extra.
Were you going to order the correct size windows?
No, I never told her that. I showed her what was wrong with her windows as far as the seal. The seals on the windows were rotten. The windows looked like they were fairly new.
If you purchased different windows, would they have fit more appropriately? The answer is either yes or no.
No.
Okay. So you knew you had to then fix those windows because they didn't fit.
Correct.
Okay. Did you ever do that?
Yes, Your Honor.
When did you do that?
When we installed the windows.
So as far as you're concerned, the job was completed?
That is correct, Your Honor.
No, I don't think so.
The first 9 windows, yes, they were.
I don't think so.
The first 9 windows were.
And then?
We did not put in the remaining 11 windows or the bow window.
She paid you for the additional 11 windows.
That was not for the windows, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
We never charged her. We did this as a family thing, not as contractors.
In any event, the case is about you claim that they did not install the other windows appropriately, and you had to pay someone $1,600 to install them and complete the job. In any event, I don't understand your claim, quite frankly, for $5,000 because all it cost you was an additional $1,600 to fix the house.
Yes, actually, because they did not install the windows I wanted. I was not really made aware of that. I'm not really an expert on windows.
Well, then that's your problem.
And I understand
then that's
that.
your problem. I still don't understand why you're suing for $5,000 when all it cost you to fix, and I assume you have a bill for that, to install those windows was $1,600.
Because for one, I didn't get all my windows. I only have 11 windows in that house. I didn't get my picture window or the additional 8. And like I said, they weren't the Anderson.
Just a second. Did you pay for them?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
I did. Those were part of the $4,000 that I gave, because on that estimate you see that there was the 9 windows plus the picture, and then the 11 windows.
One bay window with Anderson, Silver Mine Series windows. Do you have an estimate for the bay window?
Yes, I do.
And is that part of the $1,600?
Yes.
Well, if it's part of the $1,600, we're back to the same question. You paid $1,600 to complete the job. Why are you suing for $5,000?
If I may, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
They installed the windows. They left them hanging with just screws. They didn't.
I don't care.
They didn't trim.
I don't care. It cost her $1,600 to fix the job. Why is she suing for $5,000?
Because I would like the compensation for my windows, because those aren't the windows I asked for. So that's the $4,000. And then I would like the extra $1,000 for the window that he did, because I paid for that bay window twice.
What I'm going? No, not if I give you $1,600. You didn't pay for it twice.
It's only one window. I should only have to pay for it once.
Absolutely right, but he shouldn't have to pay for it twice.
He never provided me that window.
Hey, listen to me.
Okay.
It cost you $5,600 to complete the windows in your house.
Yes.
Is that a fair statement?
Yes, it is.
You gave him $4,000.
Yes.
You had to spend another $1,600. My question is, why are you suing them for $5,000?
Because I would like the $4,000 from the windows. Those aren't the windows I wanted.
Well, I tell you what we do. When you take those windows out of your house and throw them in the garbage, come back to me.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Melissa Morton and her father, George Moffat, are suing Melissa's sister, Tracy Kuzmich, and her fiancée, Tracy Crowley, for unfinished work on their home. The defendants are countersuing for false allegations.
Okay. I'm not getting into the whole family business here. The family business was that the windows weren't installed properly to begin with. Then your wife was having a difficult pregnancy, and her sister decided it's not the right time to put their feet to the fire. I'm going to live with this during the summer or whatever it was. But then at the end of the summer, she found herself pregnant. And she wasn't getting satisfaction from this side of the table to fix a problem that you should have fixed. In any event, she's owed $1,600 to finish the job because you didn't finish the job and she had to get somebody else to finish it. Unless you're going to tell me that you did, in fact, give her a picture window. Did you?
No.
Okay, so she's entitled to $1,600. Now, Mr. Moffat, you have a claim. I want to know whether you want to proceed with that claim, because you say that when all of this came down, you did something that a father should never do. You stuck your nose in your children's business.
No, ma'am, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Are you telling me that you didn't call them to try to intercede about this window business?
No, ma'am, I didn't.
Ma'am,
We got
if
proof
I
right
may,
here. Go
he
ahead.
called my cell phone an ungodly amount of times telling me to get my dead A out of bed and over to her house.
Just a second. They have the phone records.
Yeah.
You may,
They have the phone records.
we get along, and he says the same thing to me. It's nothing personal.
Well,
That's him.
Mr. Moffat, then you want to tell me what you're suing your daughter for?
I collect funeraria and strange things. Casket tags, odds and ends.
And?
I bought a plantation police badge off eBay.
And?
I had said something to Tracy about it, and about 10:30, 11 o'clock at one night, he calls me, drunkard, and he's going to come over to my house and beat the out of me and rape me.
We have,
That's a lie.
We have police reports, Your Honor.
Like I said, the telephone
And,
things.
ma'am, I talked to both of them
Just a second.
after.
And I called the county police and filed a report.
Okay. I'd like to see the report that he filed.
You see, and this is the kind of, these are bad, shady people.
What kind of racial comment to him?
May I?
Did he? Shh. No, I'm asking him.
The comment was made to me, though, ma'am.
What did he say?
He said, tell Tracy he better have his freedom papers because I have a badge to arrest runaway slaves. Those were his words.
Oh, well, Mr. Crowley, you made a mistake, sir. You called back when the police were still there.
You're correct, Honor.
And you threatened him.
I just
You
basically told
called
him
back
what's
when the police was still there. The police told you not to call back, didn't they?
Yes, they did, Your Honor.
So what'd you call back for? So what'd you call back for?
I called back to let him know that that was it. It was done.
No, that's not what you said. That's not what the police said you said.
Well, I know.
That's not what the police said you said, Mr. Crowley, because you have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim is that you filed a false police report. Your counterclaim's dismissed.
Right. Well,
Your
no,
counterclaim's dismissed.
No, the counterclaim is not dismissed.
Oh, yeah, your counterclaim's dismissed.
He told the police that I was being held against my will.
Your counterclaim, sir, is dismissed. You want me to read what your countersuit is?
Yes.
My father made false allegations toward my fiancé, claiming that he threatened him.
He did not threaten him.
Just a second. That's what you wrote. Claiming my fiancé threatened him and he was holding me against my will. However, the police officer says right here, he told you not to call back, and you called back and said you blanked by calling the police.
Implying I will not have anything to do with them now.
Listen to me. Don't tell me implying anything, madam.
But that's what he meant.
Listen to me. Don't tell me implying anything. Your fiancé was told, don't call him. And he couldn't control himself, and he called him. His counterclaim is dismissed. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,600. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The job was completed for what we got paid for, but it was not a business transaction. It was helping out family members.
Those weren't the windows I wanted. They did not finish work. That I paid them for labor that they did not do.
He's racist and he does not like him, and that's what this is really all about.
As far as being a racist, I'm also American Indian and white. I'm mixed race also.
I'm just going to walk away from it all.
I want nothing to do with her. The only one I would love to have anything to do with is my niece.
There is no relationship.
Don't hire family for sure.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Pangburn versus Teague. Step forward.
25-year-old Shalon Pangburn is suing her former friend, 19-year-old Austin Teague, for a cell phone termination fee and the cost of a new phone.
Miss Pangburn, you knew the defendant, I assume, from the mall where he works?
Yes, ma'am.
And he worked in a phone store?
Yes, ma'am.
Just friends from the mall?
Yes, ma'am.
Never saw each other outside the mall?
No, ma'am.
Okay. He works in a phone store. He had a phone. I don't know what kind of phone it was. He had a red phone. You had a blue phone. You wanted his red phone. He said, okay, we'll switch phones, which is what you did. You took his red phone. He took your blue phone. You took it and you opened up an account and your phone broke. And you went to him and said, phone's broken. And he said, well, can't help you. It was working when I, pretty much, I can't help you. It was working when I gave it to you. Gave you a loaner for a brief period of time. You want him to pay for the cost of the phone and the cost of the termination fee for your phone.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's the case. Whose idea was it to swap phones?
It was his. I talked to him about getting that phone.
What do you mean? You would talk to him about buying a new red phone?
Yes, ma'am. I talked to him about purchasing the new red phone, and he came upon the idea of just buying the blue phone. He would take the blue phone and I would take the red phone.
How much did your red phone cost?
About $500.
And how much did her blue phone cost?
Roughly about the same price.
Is that right?
I paid $262.49 for it.
I was doing the outright price. I wasn't doing the contract. Outright prices are about the same price. My phone's about $200-300 out, with the contract in it, but outright is about $500.
And is her phone the same?
Yes, her phone's about $450, $475.
Now, what was it about her phone that made it more desirable for you?
My phone's a touchscreen phone, and I actually didn't like it too much. And her phone was not touchscreen at all.
How long had you had your phone?
Like a month and a half.
How long had you had your phone?
I had never purchased. I never even had the phone in my possession. Austin took control of the phone before I even had it.
So you bought a new blue phone?
A brand new phone, yes, ma'am. I never even had the phone in my possession.
And for $262, without a contract, you got his phone that was a $500 phone.
That included the contract.
Ah. Now, on what date did you switch phones?
That was October 27, 2007.
Did you make any phone calls at all on that phone?
No, ma'am. When I actually received the phone, it was not working. And that's when I talked to Austin and told him that the touch screen, which is the only way to use the phone, was not working.
In the store?
Correct.
And what did he say to you?
Well, he spent probably about 45 minutes trying to get the touch screen to work, and he never could. At that point, he got a brand new phone out of its box and told me while he was trying to fix my phone, I could use that phone.
And that happened in the store on the same date, on the 27th of October?
Yes, ma'am.
So he gave you a loaner phone?
Yes, ma'am.
And then what happened?
I got a text message, or I believe a phone call about a week later from Austin saying that he needed the loaner phone back, that his boss was doing inventory, and if that phone was missing, he was going to lose his job.
Okay, so you brought that one back?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now you have no phone?
Correct.
All right, Austin. Let me hear you, sir.
Okay. So when she came in, I had the phone, my red phone, in my possession, and I was using it on it, just using it. She saw me using it, and as soon as I handed it to her,
Don't tell me what she saw.
As soon as we made the swap for the phones, it stopped working out of nowhere. She walked away with it after I tried.
Just a second. You handed her the phone.
Yes.
And you were standing there with her.
No, ma'am. I walked away. I was on the phone with the wireless company to get it activated. I walked away, and then she told me that it was not working after I handed her the phone.
Okay.
But it was working when I handed
But
it.
she was still in the store.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
So then I was, like she said, I was there about 45 minutes trying
Just a second. So you were there 45 minutes trying to get it to work.
Yes, ma'am.
At that point, did she ask you for her phone back?
No, ma'am.
You said, I'm going to give you a loaner phone
Yes, ma'am.
until I get your phone to work.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get her phone to work?
No, ma'am. But I also offered her an insurance plan, which she could call the wireless.
It doesn't make any difference. You didn't comply with your contract. The contract took place when you handed her the phone. She said it doesn't work, and you said, I'm giving you a loaner phone until I get your phone to work.
Yes, ma'am.
Then when she came back, Austin, and you couldn't get her phone to work, you said, well, now I'm going to give you an alternate plan. You can do this, and you can hop over here, and you can jump through here. And she chose not to do that. That wasn't the contract. That was your getting out of the contract. She chose not to do that. So you owe her the money. Now, she had a phone that she gave you that cost her $262.
Yes, ma'am.
And how much was your disconnect fee?
The termination fee was $400 for not returning the phone.
That's $662.
Correct.
That's what you owe her, Austin.
Okay.
Shouldn't have given her a broken phone, sir, which is what you did. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $662. That's all.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. and Mrs. Mathias, you hired the defendant's firm to re-roof your home.
Yes, ma'am.
And you claim that in the process of working in your home, they tortured your dog.
That's correct.
They entered your home without your permission, or someone entered your home
correct.
without your permission. Nothing was taken, but you were forced to put new locks on the doors and windows. And you want the defendant to return the price of all the roofing materials that you paid for the house and for your aggravation.
Correct.
Okay. The defendant said his people didn't do anything and he should be paid for his work. I assume you were paid for your work, is that right?
No, I haven't been paid at all.
You haven't been paid at all?
No.
Okay. We'll see. What was the total cost of the job?
Total cost of the job after the second invoice was $7,597.
Can I see it, please? Did you give him any deposit?
No, ma'am.
So you gave him nothing?
No.
Did this price include the materials?
Yes, ma'am.
It did?
Yes, it did.
So you have paid for neither materials nor the roof?
I've paid for the materials, yes.
Who did you pay for the materials?
His supplier.
How much did you pay for his materials?
$2,400.
And is the material money that you want back?
Yes.
Okay. When were you supposed to pay him the balance?
I told him that I'd pay the balance after a person of the court told me to do so on good conscience. I cannot, after what happened.
Okay. Now, you were not at home when this work was done.
I arrived home at 3 o'clock and 2/3 of the job was complete.
You have, I assume, a witness who saw what happened.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the witness? I assume you're the witness. Step up, please. Tell me your name.
My name's Karen Dick.
Are you a neighbor?
Yes, I am.
How far away from the plaintiff's house is your house?
They live directly across the street.
Would you tell me what you saw on that day?
Yeah, typically I get up in the morning and I prepare dinner for the kids. So I got up and I noticed out the window that we have over the sink that the neighbors were having their roof done. I went on about my business, and then as I'm looking out the window, I was at the sink doing something, I noticed there was a sort of a large dog. It wasn't a big dog. It was tall, but it wasn't too big. I didn't really recognize it. I've only been in the home with my boyfriend about 8 months, so I hadn't really met the neighbors. I've only said hello to them. I noticed the dog was on Joe's front lawn, kind of in the middle of about 5 gentlemen who, it seemed like they were just kind of scurrying the dog. I didn't know if maybe the dog got out, they were concerned this dog's, interfering with their work, if they were nervous. A few minutes later, I came back to the sink. I now noticed 2 of the workers have hammers in their hand, and they're swinging at the dog. The gates open, so I realized that the workers must have let the dog out. So at first I think maybe they're just trying to intimidate the dog.
What kind of gate was it? Was it a fenced yard?
It's a fenced yard, yes.
And you saw the
It was open, yes.
Now, when you saw them swinging these hammers, none of the blows connected with the dog?
I did not see that, no.
Okay.
As I'm watching, though, the dog's showing no aggression, so that wasn't the issue. And the dog is kind of scurrying back, and it's sitting back on its back legs, so it was surrendering. They could have easily put it back. At this point, now they're playing a game. The hammers are getting closer to the heads. They're laughing, they're smiling. They're going to hit that dog. So I'm screaming hysterically at the top of my lungs, please stop, what are you doing? And they get my attention, so I'm standing there to make sure they understand I'm standing there watching this. At this point, the 2 men walk away and the dog's still there. I go back into the home, and my boyfriend's mother, who's about 82, comes into the house, and I'm trying to explain to her, because her English isn't great, I'm trying to explain to her what's going on, and I'm looking out over her shoulder. At this point, I see one of the 2 gentlemen with a rope in his hand starting to do this, and I know what he's going to do. And I'm watching this, and before I can react, he's already got the dog by the 2 back legs. He's yanked the rope, and by yanking the rope so hard, he forced the dog to flip over on the back side, and from the left side of Joe's house all the way to the front side, to the far right side of Joe's house, through the street, not on the side, but through the street, he drugged the dog on the dog's back. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm fine.
Was there any, when he did that to the dog, when he tied the dog's back legs, were they still right near the fenced-in yard?
No. Thank you. The gentleman that had the rope was standing in the street when he picked up the rope, because he's walking down.
So the dog had moved?
The dog really hadn't really moved. The dog was still in the grass, from what I recall. He's still kind of on the grass. He hasn't really gone anywhere. The gentleman takes the rope, and he's walking this way. So he had gone down, I don't know if it's truck, I couldn't see from my window, but he was coming back. And when he came into my view, that's when he had the rope in his hand, and that's where he took the rope to the dog's legs. As he dragged the dog through the street, that's when I ran back outside, and I wanted to make my presence completely known that I'm watching this and I'm seeing who's doing this. Because he's tugged the rope so tight, there was no way for the dog to break free for quite some time.
How did the dog
Just by wiggling and wiggling and wiggling. At this point, the dog was able to run up to the front porch, and as I'm walking, because I'm moving this way, to see what's going on, the dog, I could see him burrow into the corner on the porch to just be left alone. The gentleman who had the rope walks up and kind of goes down and starts going, trying to get the dog to be nice. And I'm thinking, if you've done all this to the dog and you're not scared of the dog at this point, how could anyone evenly conceivably say that you were just intimidated by this dog and that's why you did any of this to get the dog back in the backyard? There was no intimidation by this dog. So I'm just standing there. I'm not going to leave until I can see this dog put back in the backyard. Eventually, the man does sit there. He pets with the dog, and he picks the dog up, and he does eventually put the dog in the backyard, close the door. I go in the house, and I don't know what to do. Again, I don't know the neighbors that well. I'm thinking, should I call the police? I don't want to stir something up, call the police, and then have a problem with the neighbors. So I'm thinking it's better for me to advise them first. I have to go to work, so I call my boyfriend, tell him what's going on, to please make sure that they're aware of what happened, to let him know when I come home from work, I will fill him in on the details. After I'd done that, I noticed the truck was open and I saw the phone number, so I called the number to see if I could talk to the owner of the company to tell him to please come out, and I would speak to him personally. When I called, the gentleman said that I'd have to leave my phone number, someone would have to call me back, and I wasn't comfortable with that. So I figure it's better for me to let things be until I get home to bring this out. And then that evening, that's when I went over and spoke to the Mathiases and told them what I had seen.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Monica and Joseph Mathias claim employees of contractor Glenn Matheson tortured their dog. The Mathiases say the workers hogtied their pet.
You also claim, Mr. Mathias, that the house was open.
Yes, it was.
Do you have a witness to that?
I have a witness from our mail carrier that said that she delivered...
No, you don't have a witness. If you don't
no, you're correct. I do not have a witness. I have a letter from the mail carrier. Okay, the mail carrier stated to me...
You can't tell me what the mail carrier stated. Okay. You can't give me a letter. I have to see a witness testify. You see, testimony is powerful. I can make a determination as to credibility, etc. There's no question that there was no property taken from your house.
I don't believe there was, no.
Good. You weren't there that day.
No, I wasn't.
So you don't know what happened?
Correct. Just from what my foreman, Bernie, just told me.
Okay. What's Bernie's last name?
Ramirez.
Mr. Ramirez, would you step up, please? You were supervising these men that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you watching them at all times?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see what happened with the dog?
Yes, I was there too. I was, when the dog came out, I was talking...
When the dog came out of where?
From the yard.
How did the dog get out of the yard?
One of my workers go inside to collect the electric power, the extension cord, and the dog, he leave the door open, and then that's when the dog come out.
So one of your workers allowed the dog to get out?
Right.
Were you told, sir, that there would be a dog there?
Paperwork that I provide suggests that they keep the dog at a neighbor's house or inside the house.
That's not what I asked.
No, I didn't know there was a dog there.
Okay. Go ahead. So one of your workers let the dog out?
So the dog come out, and I start playing on the front yard. And I was talking to him by the phone, and so I saw the dog running, you know.
Running in the front yard?
On the front yard, you know, in and out. And then, so I'm scared because I said, well, maybe the dog is gonna go away. So I tell my workers. So two workers come out from the roof to try to put the dog inside, back in the yard. But I never saw nobody hit the dog, nobody touched the dog.
No, there was no testimony that anybody hit the dog with the hammer.
Yeah,
there was testimony that they were motioning to the dog with the hammer. Did you see the dog being tied up by the back legs?
No.
Well, that happened because there is no question in my mind that this lady is telling me the truth. Any question in your mind that the neighbor is telling me the truth, sir?
I have no idea.
Well, I know, if you have no idea, I'm going to tell you that this lady is telling me 100% truthfully that the dog was tied up by the legs and pulled in the street. And if your worker, Bernie, didn't see that, then he didn't see everything. There isn't a reason in the world that this neighbor, who doesn't know these people from a hole in the wall, would come to court and lie for her and pick up the phone and call your company to tell your company.
I've got records that she didn't call.
Oh.
I get a log of every call that comes into my office.
That somebody records?
Correct.
So nobody recorded, just a second.
No, either name or number. They don't care. They'll record a message.
She wasn't leaving her name and number.
Correct. She left a message. I show no message.
That's your problem.
Well,
that's your problem.
It states that she didn't call me.
She called you.
She didn't.
Oh, yes, she did.
I don't have record of it. Every call that comes into my office
no, listen to me,
gets
sir.
recorded.
Listen to me carefully. Don't get defensive. You weren't there. Fortunately, you weren't responsible for this. But I can think of no reason why this woman, who is new to the neighborhood, would be so upset about what she saw to go outside, get the number from your truck, come inside, place a call, speak to somebody who said to her, according to her, which I believe 100%, leave me your number, somebody will call you back. She said, I'm not leaving my number, thank you very much, and she hangs up, and nobody records it in your log.
She said that they took a message to get me out to the job site.
No, that's not what she said. That's what you wanted to hear.
That's what
What she said was she wanted somebody to come to the job site, but they said to her, give me your name and your telephone number, and I'll have someone call you back. And she did not want to do that.
But she requested to leave a message. That message would have been taken and recorded and sent to me.
Just to say, I heard what you said.
Correct.
You're not hearing what I'm saying?
I'm hearing.
I believe she called.
I don't believe she called.
Then that's your problem. Fortunately, I'm in charge. I don't know if Bernie is lying intentionally, or if he didn't see everything, or if he wasn't watching what was going on there. You think these people are trying to scam you out of a roof?
I believe they're trying quite a bit. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
No. I think that the men that you hired did not do the right thing that day, and they were very angry. Whether or not it translates into them suing you for $5,000, I don't know. But there's no question in my mind, after listening to Bernie and listening to the neighbor, that she is telling me the truth. Bernie, two things. He either did not see everything or he's lying. Because he did not put the dog back in the pen.
I've never known
He
Bernie
did
to
not
lie.
put the dog back in the pen, Bernie. She says somebody came to the front door, one of the men came to the front door and ultimately picked up the dog and put it back into the yard after they got finished doing the stupidity that they were doing to this dog.
I was told the dog was dragged back into the garage. I'm getting a lot of conflicting stories.
Not
from
to
this
me.
side. Of course not.
Not to me.
I have.
Not to me.
I've received a number of different stories. And the dog doesn't get taken to the vet till 2.5 days, 3 days later, after I tell him, no, I'm not going to settle for this. I'm not going to take your word or your neighbor's word. I'm not going to give you a financial benefit for this. I said, what do you want? He says, I want money from you. I own your company. I want a free roof. I said, I'm not going to give you a free roof. I'll sleep on it. He sleeps on it, comes back and says, I don't want to pay your labors. You know they're lying to you. You know anyone will lie in order to get paid. Well, to this day, they haven't been paid.
Two people attached to your company did the wrong thing that day with the dog.
It wasn't proven. You have
It's
one
proved.
witness.
Just a second.
You've got
It's
the
proven
vet who says there's nothing wrong with the
Just a
dog.
sec. I didn't say that the dog was injured, sir. The dog was maltreated. The dog was
She could have
maltreated.
misconstrued what was going on in some parts, yes.
No, this lady didn't come out twice screaming because she was misconstruing what was going on.
She was concerned about how scared she was. Call the police. The police could have been there and taken care of everything. Everything would have been solved right then and there.
It's a possibility. She could have done that. She
But
could have called
didn't.
the police.
So there was
Give me a reason. Think of a reason.
Why she didn't call the police?
No, think of a reason why she would lie. I can think of a reason why Bernie would lie.
Why is that?
Because he was responsible. He was the foreman on the job. He was responsible ultimately for the performance of his men and
He's
what they
performed
did.
jobs
I'm
for me for 12
speaking.
years.
I'm speaking. He was responsible ultimately for the performance. And if he came to you and said to you, I did in fact see two of my guys who didn't know what they were doing, who were just sort of fooling around with the dog, and one did put a lasso around the legs, but meant to put it around the head to get it back into the house, or he didn't see everything, or he figured, say nothing. I can think of a reason for him to lie. I can't think of a reason for her to lie.
And I can't think of a reason for him to lie.
Well, I can. So, and that's the only thing that counts. So, you have to prove damages to me, sir. What were your damages? So far, you got a $7,500 roof for nothing.
Yes, ma'am. The hardware replacement for the door locks and everything.
Listen to me. I'm not entertaining your claim for any door locks.
Okay.
Because as far as I'm concerned, they didn't do anything with regard to going into your house.
Okay, I felt in good conscience I should pay the materials for the roof. I'm not going to pay him until an officer of the court tells me to pay him for the labor.
Well, that's not...
Or anything like that.
Yeah.
The pet clinic was $31.
Let me see the vet reports.
And all the material has not been paid.
I have the receipt for
Material
that, Your
from
Honor.
ALL has been paid, but not material from my yard. Not all material came from ALL.
Your countersuit is for $4,500 for defamation of character and lost wages. The defamation of character, I assume, has to do with these people saying things about your business.
Correct. Contacting the Better Business Bureau, threatening to contact the newspaper, and degrading my company.
They are entitled to do that.
Your Honor, he's also put a lien on my house, I believe.
I have every right to lien the house. I haven't been paid for the
You're
for a job.
absolutely right. Is this lawsuit supposed to determine that?
No.
So then why am I hearing your countersuit?
It's not for the lien on the house.
Well, what is it for?
It's for loss of wages for my men for the day, loss
what
of
day?
work, for today, for being here.
For today?
Correct.
Forget it. Your counterclaim's dismissed. I believe that they have a perfectly valid claim against you because I believe that the people who represent your company did the wrong thing that day. First, they negligently let the dog out of the yard. That, at least, we know from Bernie. And after that, Bernie told them to go and take care of it. Then one of them dragged the dog across the property, not even the property, not even the grass, but into the street,
With
in
no
the gravel.
damages to the dog.
What?
No injury to the dog. after all this horrendous treatment of the animal.
Judge, parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
You must have been absent on the day that I told you never to co-sign on a car for anybody.
Yes, Your Honor. I think
Not a good day to be absent. In any event, you did, in fact, do that. You
Yes, I did.
co-signed on a car for Mr. Simmons while you were in a relationship. The relationship terminated, as most of these relationships do, and you repossessed the car. Mr. Simmons stopped, according to you, making payments on the car. You invested a lot in the car. You're stuck with those payments and those fees, and you want him to compensate you. Mr. Simmons says that you had a rather odd arrangement with regard to the car, and that was that as long as you were dating, you would make the payments on the car. That's what you said.
That's correct.
Right? And as soon as you stopped dating, he made the payments on the car, and you had no right to repossess the car. As a matter of fact, he was perfectly willing to put the car in his name and to assume all of the financial responsibility, and you chose to have the car towed to a secret location, preventing him from having access to what was really his vehicle. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
That's a first, Mr. Simmons, but I'm going to let you go there in a minute. How long were you and Mr. Simmons involved in a relationship before this car was purchased?
7 months.
7 months exclusively, 7 months living together, 7 months
7 months just exclusively dating.
Well, he just looked at you as if to say, maybe exclusive for you, honey, but not for me necessarily. That was the look. I'm just letting you know that that was the look. So after 7 months, would you let me share the circumstances surrounding purchasing this car from your perspective?
During the time that we dated, he frequently borrowed my car to drive about an hour, hour and a half to pick up his daughter for visitations every other weekend because his vehicle was just not up for the drive. So when he approached me asking me to co-sign a loan for him to buy a new car, I looked at the fact that he had had a job for 7 years and kind of have a soft spot for dads that are devoted to their daughters, and I agreed to co-sign for the loan as long as I never had to spend a penny out of pocket for that car.
Is that what you said to him?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely not, Your Honor.
And so tell me what you did.
So I co-signed the loan, and...
did you go shopping with him?
No, he had it all picked out. The only time I ever went to the dealership with him was when we went to sign the papers.
When he purchased it?
Correct.
And the car was purchased when?
The car was purchased at the end of September in 2006. First payment he made in November of 06.
And how much was the payment that he made in November?
$543.41.
And you have proof of that?
Oh, yes.
Good. Go ahead.
Then he was laid off from his job just weeks later, so it was about Thanksgiving 2006.
He was laid off?
Yes.
Did he have a conversation with you about being laid off?
Oh, sure.
What did he say?
No, he was fired because he was late for work too often. He kind of has a liking to staying up all night drinking and playing video games.
Okay, so he was laid off from this job that he had for 7 years, according to you?
According to him. I didn't check his employment record.
Big mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, so then he's laid off, and what about December's payment?
He did not have the money for it, and I take great pride in my credit, so I said that I would make the payment at the due date and get the money to me as soon as he can.
And what did he say?
Absolutely. I'll get it to you as soon as I can.
What about January's payment?
Nope, same situation. He was still trying to find work. He was going to the temporary services, but it was so early in the morning, and he would be frustrated that they wouldn't have work for him.
Was he living with you?
Not at all, no.
What about February's payment?
By the beginning of February, he came to me with some cash. He had owed me still for a past phone bill. He'd often tell me he had money for me. And when it came time to bring the money to me, he would call and delay. And
in February, he brought you some cash. How much?
$800 cash on February the 3rd.
And that was for the?
It was for money that he owed me. The cell phone. I was also paying the insurance on the car.
Listen, I'm not a bookkeeper. I want to know how much of that $800 was for the car.
$105.
May I have a moment, Your Honor?
Sure.
The plaintiff suggested that if I had any problems initially making any car payments, then to not worry about it, don't feel so stressed and obligated because she was aware of my other financial obligations.
Don't tell me what she was aware of.
These are facts, Your Honor.
You made the payment in November, sir. According to the plaintiff, is that the truth or a lie?
Payment in November?
Yes, she can say
No,
that she can establish that you made the payment in November.
That's not correct.
Can I see?
made two payments.
Shh. Can I see the November payment, please?
Yes, ma'am. It's a list of all the payments made on the car. November is on the bottom of the list.
You sure you didn't make the payment in November, sir?
Not from my account.
Did you give her money?
I gave her money occasionally,
Okay.
yes, but not directly related to that November payment.
Okay.
As she stated already, there are some phone bills and some things that she said that she would put in her account or put into her name so that I could maintain communication with her. And I told her I would help her out occasionally when I had the finances to do that.
You were supposed to make the payments on this car, sir. According to you, you were supposed to make the payments on this car. And according to you, what you just said to me was, she told you, if you can't make the payments at some point, don't be so stressed, I'll cover them. That's what you started to tell me.
That's correct.
That's different from saying what you swore to in your answer, while we were dating, I'll make the payments. That's different. That's a whole different thing, Mr. Simmons. Do you get it? You can
back and forth from
listen. Don't tell me flip-flop. Flip-flop doesn't make a contract. Flip-flop doesn't make a deal. If what she said to you, which may be true, listen, I don't want you to be stressed. If you're short, I'll cover for you because, you know, you've been paying me for the other things. Don't be stressed. That I believe. What I didn't believe when I read your answer that you swore to, sir, was the following.
Yeah, following.
She told me she would pay the monthly payments on a new Toyota Camry as long as we were together. That, Mr. Simmons, I didn't believe. You know why I don't believe it? Because it doesn't sit well with my common sense. And based upon what you just told me, I was accurate. Because she never said, as long as we're dating, I'll make the monthly payments. She said, I don't want you to stress. That's what you say. If you're short, I'll help you.
That's correct.
That's a different thing, Mr. Simmons.
I find the two to be very similar.
Well, maybe that's why you're standing there and I'm sitting here. Did you ever think of that?
No.
Maybe that's why I am continuously employed and you are not.
Okay, well, I'm
Mr. Simmons.
employed now.
Well, that's wonderful. How old are you?
What does that have to do with anything?
I want to know how old you are. You have a child, you have a
38.
support order, and it's clear in December and January you weren't working. How could you not be working?
As she explained, my employment was terminated.
Well, so I just said to you, I'm continuously employed and you're not. And I don't have children that I have to support, thank God, anymore. If you said to me in your statement what you said to me just now, I would have believed you. I would have said, well, I could imagine a woman who's in love, you know, could just be that kind of sucker. You know, I want you to have a good car. If you're short on the money, I'll help you. But that's not what you said.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How were you seeing him at that point?
I wasn't.
He says that you were still in a relationship.
We weren't.
Must have been through the astrologer.
That was probably it.
And later today,
I'm asking you, what proof do you have, sir, that she took the box?
She was the only one with the key that day, Your Honor. Nobody else ever knew where that lockbox was. She's the only one down there, ever.
Lisa Thompson says ex-boyfriend Scott Simmons owes for a Toyota Camry that was in her name. Scott says that Lisa is a woman scorned.
How much did you spend on his car before you repossessed it?
Before I could find it, I ended up making a total of 7 payments. He wasn't able to make a lot of them on time, so I would go in and pay the payment, and that would give him a few extra days to get to me with the money. He also gambled quite a bit, so he would gamble and then lose the money, and then he'd need a few more days.
In what month did you repossess the car?
I repossessed it in October because he was so far behind in the payments. I kept asking him to just give me the car, and I'll sell it and get him off the loan, and then we just don't have to deal with this
And what was his
anymore.
response?
No.
Why wouldn't you give her the car?
Because that wasn't part of our arrangement. Just like she suggested that I was supposed to be responsible
Well, but you weren't
for
making
the car
payments
payments.
you weren't making payments on the
Because
car.
we were in a relationship.
No, not
She
anymore.
called- Yes, we were. She may have hidden it well from whoever else, or maybe she's delirious of the fact that we were still seeing one another at that moment.
You weren't paying for the car.
She was supposed to pay for the car.
No, sir, you just lied to me. That's not what you told me 5 minutes ago. 5 minutes ago, you said
I
5
suggested
minutes.
that I would help her whenever I
No,
could.
that's not what you said. Not you would help her. You told me she would help you if you were short. That's what you told me. Here you said that she was supposed to make all the payments. Clearly, that's a lie. 5 minutes ago, Mr. Simmons, you said, she said not to stress if you couldn't make the payments, then she would help you out. Now your story is she was supposed to make the payments and you would help her out. That's 3 different stories, Mr. Simmons, in 10 minutes. I don't know what you saw in him, madam. I've been with him for a relatively short period of time. Evidently, you need a longer period of time in order to have that attraction sort of kick in.
I think so.
You had a key made to the car. You went to his place of employment,
Well,
according
actually,
to
he wasn't working for all those months. So I spent hours and hours trying to find the car. He was evicted from his apartment, so I couldn't look there for him anymore.
How were you seeing him at that point?
I wasn't.
He says that you were still in a relationship.
We weren't.
Must have been through the astrologer.
That was probably it.
Go ahead.
So I searched for him and searched for him. I had everyone I know looking out for this car. I had the license plate. I had text
You finally
messages.
found it.
I finally
I have
found
other
it.
things to do.
He, sorry. He ended up telling me he had just started back at his job. I showed up at his job while he was at work, sat in the car, called the tow truck, waited for them to come and get it.
So they towed the car to the company?
No, that had to do with the police. Wouldn't take any stand on it. They sent the tow truck home because it said it's a civil matter, but I wouldn't get out of the car. I said, well, it's not going to happen because I'm not going to get out of the car.
Great. So what happened?
He eventually gave in and took his stuff out of the car, but refused to give me the key still. So I had to have it towed to a dealership and have a new key made.
That's not correct.
Well, so tell me what happened, sir.
No, she said that she was going to give me opportunity to try to get the car refinanced.
I'd been telling you for
together,
months.
Together, we drove over to the dealership. Meanwhile, while I'm in the dealership trying to get this refinanced, work it all out, she's outside. I come back outside to talk to her, and the car is gone. In a scandalous way, she had the car towed from the dealership.
Perfect.
Oh, you like that now?
Oh, I certainly do, sir. I certainly do. Did you bring any canceled checks to show me that in the 2 months prior to her taking possession of the car, you made the car payments?
Yes, ma'am.
Show me.
So last 3 pages. There were 2 car payments that I had made in the month of, I think it was March. Following that.
Just a second. Wait. In what month was the car repossessed?
I took it back the beginning of October.
In October?
Yes.
So we're talking about August and September.
There's a statement in there for August.
Well, you have something here that says girlfriend's account.
That's correct.
So in August, your girlfriend made a payment.
Through her account, correct.
Okay, for $541. Okay?
That's correct.
Where is September?
Did not make payment September.
Why not?
Payment was already paid 2 months in advance. There was 2 payments made consecutively from February and March on the other statements that you have there.
We're not talking March. I'm asked you September. Show me September's payment, sir.
I just have August there.
Well, you didn't make September. Then in October, she said, I'm taking it back. Here, give this back to him. Wouldn't know the truth if it came up and slapped him in the face. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,659. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Spite, because I'm seeing somebody else.
I didn't care.
And when I didn't want to be with her anymore, she chose to take the car back.
All I wanted was the money to pay for the what's on my credit.
She was feeling neglected, yes.
Oh, Judge Judy's #1 rule, never co-sign a loan.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Gentry versus Stevenson, step forward, please.
Dan Gentry is suing his former friend, 23-year-old Danielle Stevenson, for stealing a lockbox full of cash from his home. Danielle denies the charge.
Mr. Gentry, you and Miss Stevenson had sort of a casual relationship. The relationship isn't that important to this case. What is important is that you believe that while she was performing some work at your house, and that work was cleaning your house, which she did on occasion for money,
Correct.
she stole a lockbox that you kept in the basement.
Correct.
And its contents. And Miss Stevenson says she did not.
Correct.
She never saw the lockbox?
No, I didn't.
And so you, Mr. Gentry, are going to have to tell me what proof do you have that Miss Stevenson took this box? Go ahead.
She had cleaned for me the end of June of 06. It was a Friday, the 25th. That night I gave her a key to the house to come and clean the bathroom floor and do a few dishes the next day, okay? July 29th, when I came home from work at 7 p.m. that night, I came in, front door, of course. By my front door of the closet, I noticed an umbrella missing. I went in the bedroom. My top dresser drawer was pulled out, $25, $30 cash. Went in the kitchen. There was a fingernail file, metal fingernail file that was originally in the bathroom, laying on the kitchen counter. That made me think to go downstairs and look at the lockbox. I went down there, completely gone. Nothing ransacked. Doors completely closed.
That's on July 29th.
Correct.
Okay.
June 25th, she was down there cleaning by herself with a neighbor friend of mine. Her father and I had left to go to the store. She was down there 45 minutes, maybe an hour by herself, straightening up some bags. Nobody else knew where that lockbox was at or even could have found it.
So?
So when she was down there, more than likely she looked through there being in a...
I'm asking you, what proof do you have, sir, that she took the box?
I don't have 100% proof, but
I'm not asking you for 100% proof. You don't need 100% proof in civil court, but you need proof.
Okay, well, she had a key to the house that day. The only person with the key for her to come that Saturday, the next day, to do the cleaning.
So keep going.
Like I said, that's when I came home that night. It was missing. Made a police report. I do have that. Photos where the lockbox was. From there, it went to a detective. Miss Mancini refused to take a polygraph test. From there, it went later on.
What's your name was Stevenson?
I got married. He didn't know that I had gotten married until probably a month or two ago.
Okay, go ahead.
Went to a prosecutor after that, and he said he couldn't do a whole lot with it. But the only thing is, when I called her that night of the 29th of July of 06, outside she said, check the side door. I might have left it unlocked. I threw some water out there or something. Of course, I went over and checked the door, screen door, big door, both unlocked. But she remembered to lock the front door when she left.
So?
My feeling, 1 in a million, someone could come in there and knew where that lockbox was.
They also took $25 or $30 out of your drawer,
Right.
according to you, and an umbrella,
Correct.
and your lockbox.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all the proof that you have against her?
She was the only one with the key that day, Your Honor.
Mr. Gentry, I don't even have to ask her any question. The fact that she had a key to your house doesn't mean that she took your property. Your door was also open. Is that correct?
The side door, which no one...
Side door was also open. Is that correct?
Correct. Left unlocked.
Mr. Gentry, I don't know whether she took your property or not, but the fact that she had access to your house, the fact that your property was missing, doesn't mean she took it. Doesn't mean she took it.
Okay. I do have a recording from my voicemail she had left after sometime August to February of 07.
Yeah.
That she'd left saying that she would pay me back even though she didn't do it.
Oh, she said she'll pay you back even though she didn't do it.
Mm-hmm. Nobody else ever knew where that lockbox was. She's the only one down there ever.
So what you're telling me is you have a voicemail from her that says, I didn't do it.
I didn't do it, but I would pay you because the detective had told her that she might be facing charges against her.
Is that right?
Yes. The reason I told him that I would pay it even though I didn't do it is because me and him were friends for like 4 or 5 years. And this is somebody who I talk to every day, who was like my best friend. So him being mad at me, it made me upset. So I was willing to make payments to him on whatever he thought was stolen just so we could continue our friendship.
I wouldn't want to be friendly with somebody that thought I was a thief.
I kind of figured that if I said something like that, he might realize that I didn't do it. Because if I was going to steal from him, I would have done it during the beginning of our friendship, not towards the end after, my son spent time with him and everything else. He came to my parents' house, everything.
Whatever. You don't have enough evidence for me to even stretch it, sir. And reach a conclusion that you can establish, even in a civil proceeding, that she stole your property. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Your case is dismissed.
Trên tay mình đang cầm đây là chai dầu đậu nành của nhãn hàng Simili, là một trong những loại dầu ăn Simili đang bán cực kỳ là chạy trên thị trường như hiện nay. Nhưng bên cạnh đó thì có rất là nhiều bà mẹ nội trợ, những người nội trợ cứ nghĩ là sử dụng loại dầu nào cũng được, nhưng đó là một cái quan niệm cực kỳ là sai lầm. Vì chúng ta không sử dụng đúng cái dầu mà được chiết xuất 100% nguyên chất. Khi mà chúng ta sử dụng những cái dòng dầu mà không đảm bảo chất lượng thì đó là những cái dòng dầu đã bị pha trộn. Vì vậy chúng ta phải tìm hiểu để sử dụng những cái dòng dầu, đặc biệt là cái dòng dầu ăn, để đảm bảo cho sức khỏe của gia đình, cho chính bản thân mình cũng như gia đình chúng ta. Thì chúng ta nên là sử dụng cái dòng dầu đậu nành của Simili 100% nguyên chất dầu omega 3, 6 và omega 39 để cho một trái tim khỏe mạnh. Thì thành phần chính để tạo nên dầu ăn, dầu đậu nành Simili này thì gồm có là 100% dầu đậu nành nguyên chất, vitamin A, thực phẩm tăng cường vì chất dinh dưỡng. Đó là cái thành phần chính để tạo nên mỗi chai dầu ăn, dầu đậu nành Simili như thế này. Và các cái thông tin dinh dưỡng thì gồm có omega 3, omega 6, omega 9, vitamin E, vitamin A bổ sung, gồm có chất béo không bão hòa, chất béo bão hòa, cholesterol và gồm có năng lượng thì 126 kali. Đó là cái hàm lượng, là cái thông tin dinh dưỡng của mỗi chai dầu ăn nhãn hàng Simili như thế này. Đó. Thì để một trái tim được khỏe mạnh thì mọi người nên sử dụng cái dòng dầu ăn Simili, dầu đậu nành này. Đây là cái sản phẩm nước mắm Nam Ngư của nhãn hàng chính chú. Hiện nay thì đã có chai lớn như thế này, rất là tiện cho các chị em nội trợ. Và chai lớn như thế này thì có dung tích, có trọng lượng là 1,2 lít. Đối với dòng nước mắm Nam Ngư này thì được làm từ cá cơm tươi nguyên chất, được đánh bắt từ biển. Và thành phần chính để làm nên một chai nước mắm như thế này thì gồm có nước mắm cốt, cá, muối, nước muối và đường. Những cái thành phần khác thì gồm có chất điều vị, chất điều chỉnh độ axit, hương liệu tổng hợp giống tự nhiên, chất tạo màu tự nhiên, chất bảo quản, chất ổn định, hỗn hợp chất yucca, chiết xuất, trái dinh, chất tạo ngọt 951 tổng hợp. Và để mua được cái sản phẩm nước mắm Nam Ngư của nhãn hàng chính chú đúng của hàng công ty thì người tiêu dùng của chúng ta cần phải xem những cái đặc điểm của cái chai nước mắm. Thứ nhất là trên nắp chai nước mắm Nam Ngư đều để cái vấn nổi như thế này, là sẽ có cái 9 phút ở trên nắp như thế này. Và thứ hai là cái ngày sản xuất và hạn sử dụng nước mắm sẽ được in ở trên nắp cổ chai như thế này. Đó, khi chúng ta mua thì chúng ta cần phải xem đúng của hàng công ty, vì hiện nay cái tình trạng làm cái nước mắm giả rất là nhiều. Vì vậy người dùng của chúng ta cần phải là một người mua hàng và sử dụng hàng thật là thông thái để chúng ta biết được đâu là hàng thật, đâu là hàng giả, để đảm bảo sức khỏe cho cả gia đình của chúng ta. Đó là đối với dòng nước mắm Nam Ngư của nhãn hàng chính chú.